The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nuswash Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian, Billy Friedrich. Jones one, all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the Clark up Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, Bizarre is a man named Slaughter, and he flips flip the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing. Betting up the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Leche.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Tuesday, July 8th. Thank you for watching Loshak and the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I am very excited and happy to be back in business with you guys. I was at a wedding in Ottawa, and it's nice to be back, man. It feels like the whole bag is back in business. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be rocking with you guys. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Big Zoe in the house. Thank you. We were pretty certain that not everybody would realize that we were talking about it's the Perfect Strangers sitcom that we're in, and Peter Loshak's Balky. We were pretty sure that that wouldn't. But Jose was right, saying, you know what? Even if you look like a couple of weirdos, people will probably like it. So thank you, Big Zoe. We got Stacks in the house. Stacks play day number 1. Soto over 1.5 bases minus 105. Let's get this all locked and loaded. Soto over 1.5 bases. Diaz over 1.5 bases. Nice to be back in business with Mr. Justin McKelvey in the house. Let's get Justin action up here. Diaz of the Rays, yes, because there's now, yeah, that's an important note. Thank you. There we go. O'Malley Mal in the house. Angel Reese, 15 or more points. That game's in effect right now. Now, notice there are some games. There are some games that we will start our show a little bit earlier for. There are other games that we won't. This is one that we won't start early. Angel Reese over 13.5 for Scott. And my partner in crime ready to get down to business. Loshak in the bag in full effect. Please welcome from Brooklyn, our guy, Mr. Peter Loshak, to the show. Mr. Loshak, how are you?
I'm all right. Sorry I'm late again. I'm just trying to be as prepared as possible with all the, do a lot of prop stuff, and I try to, a lot of it comes, closer to first pitch. I try to be fully prepared. I'm running late, trying to do everything. It's all right. That's no excuse. Thanks for allowing me to be a little late sometimes, Jimmy the Bag. How's everything going with you?
Everything's great. I got back from Ottawa, and it was a great wedding, all a success.
Ooh.
And I'm ready to get back to business, Mr. Loshak.
Who got married?
One of my best buddies. He's done a couple hockey videos for us back in the day when we were in Costa Rica. Old Bobby Pantload. Old Bob Pantload got married. And Bebsy, who I used to do the football show, he was in the wedding party with me. So got heavily intoxicated with our friend Bebsy.
Wow.
And Hammer. I don't know if you guys remember when I first went back to Toronto, I had a show in a bar and had all these comedians coming. And we would interview him. One of them was Dave Hempstead, and he was there. He was in the wedding party as well. Dave Hempstead, he had a full scholarship to Wake Forest for golf, full scholarship for golf. And in the first year, near the end of the first year, he was on the course. It started raining, and he probably should have got off the course immediately. He did not, and he got struck by lightning, Peter. And it changed his life drastically. Changed who he was, changed everything, changed his body chemistry, changed who he was.
Kind of a punk? are you punking me, or that really happened? You literally got
really happened. He dropped out of university within about 6 weeks.
Oh shit!
His whole life changed so drastically. Now he's a very successful comedian. So, life happens. We can't control a lot of things. Now he could have got off the golf course a little earlier.
Yeah. No. But, we cannot. There's so many things in life we can't control, but not being a fucking idiot, that's something that is within our control. No, I'm serious. I only make that joke because you told me his life turned out great, right?
Yes. Oh, it's wonderful. He's a great, great guy, and he also won the first ever Toronto Amateur Open. He won the first ever, and then he won the very last ever. He bookended the Toronto Amateur Open events. Big spread in the newspaper and all that. He still has a great life. He flies all over the world doing stand-up, but golf never really came to fruition But it was just great. It was great. But I'm really excited to be back in business with you guys. And we got to make the most of this show, Pete, because next Tuesday, there's no sports except the All-Star game in Major League Baseball. Right. So we need to make the most of today's show. Shout out to everybody joining us. We got Big Zo, Justin McKelvey, Mally Mal, Scott. I'm copying and pasting action. We have Aaron in the house, AM, Big Daddy, Boom, Troy, Torrance, Coin, MLG, Beavis, Old E, Crystal Craig. Crystal Craig, I've been thinking about you watching how good our Jays have looked. It's pretty wild, and thinking about you enjoying every second of it. Scott says, how do I get a horse? It's a good question, Scott. Gold membership. Gold. F. Donahue just upgraded his membership to PSR Gold. And it's just in time, my man, because we have a whole bunch of announcements for our gold memberships coming out very, very soon that I'm excited about. Christopher Carter, David Redling, Jay Rivera, Gorky in the house, Vaughn Polo says, hope everybody is smelling good today, Vaughn Polo. I can't wait to see your show. So get in touch with me. I've been gone for a little while, so get in touch with me here. Timmy Two Shoes, Steve G, Ronnie Loft, and Jay Rivera, Razor, Sharp Picks in the house. Thank you for the welcome back. Nine Legacy is action. Crystal Craig, thank you. I mean, it's too bad it only fits 27. Still got to figure out what to do with all the rest of them, but I can switch them up for each sport if I want and stuff like that, which I will, decide to do. Okay, shit, Von Pol, I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Steve G. Did you see our thumbnail? I think you are a great Balky. Don't you think you're a great Balky from Perfect Strangers?
Oh my God. Yeah, in like 1990, I could do an impression of that guy, but I haven't really watched that show in quite a long time here.
Nate Dogg, Steve G says, Land of the Senators, Wine Time Sports in the house. Stephen Fehrenbach, Nate Dogg 420 says, hope to join more regularly soon. Miss the action. We miss you. We got Lil Domo in the house. Wager Detective ready to get to work. Ken Mizrahi, Redbeard, Slow Jams Arsenal, Stephen Hairston, Markel, Robert Cherry, JM. What a great group. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much. And I thanked my friend Jeff Arp, Big Jeff Arp, RP baby from our poker game, came up and did help me do, well, I watched him do it pretty much, but he got the background done for me here in the studio. So shout out to my guy, Jeff Arp, who's moving to Montreal right now. And if I've taught you guys one thing about Montreal, contact dances. He's on his way to Montreal right now. And we wish him luck and safe travels. And thank you, RP, for hooking up and helping me with the background. Great to see you, Wager Detective Lamont Williams. Great to see all of you guys. Peter, I'm excited to get to work.
Yeah. There's one quick comment, and then we'll move on. I've heard that Montreal is a great city, but from my observation, there's something wrong with the people from there. I don't mean that in a bad way. Like they seem a little inbred or something like that.
Well, they won't like you, Peter. They won't like you. They won't like you. You need to speak French.
Right.
Or they won't like you. And it's not like Costa Rica, right? Costa Rica, first day I was there, someone would say something in Spanish. I don't know what I would mutter, but nobody liked me at all. And then Tim Reichert told me to say, Lo sientos. Mi español no bueno. Lo siento, mi español no bueno. As soon as I started saying that, they loved me. Now, that's not the case in Montreal. You actually have to speak it. You can't just say, I'm sorry, I can't speak it. That is an issue. The French don't like the English speakers. And
speak English, asshole. That won't fly.
You'll get shanked. You'll get shanked in all Montreal. Yeah.
All right. We got to make a betting movie with Tim Reichert and everyone, Jim.
Yes, we do. Yes,
I've been watching so many betting. I saw an old one from the 60s called 5 Card Stud. It's not a good movie, but it's fun to watch anyway. I watched Guys and Dolls with Sinatra and Brando. I'm getting obsessed with gambling movies, Jimmy. And the Cincinnati Kid. You ever seen that?
I know. I saw the musical. I got the horse right here.
The Cincinnati Kid. Yeah. Oh, Guys and Dolls is awesome. But the Cincinnati Kid, I never saw either. Anyway.
I have seen the Cincinnati Kid. I have seen that because I did a writing project on it 20 years ago where I was trying to come up with my own kind of thing. And so, yes, I have done that. Viper NB in the house, AOD, DC Capper. Let's get to work, my friend. There's Spooner in the house. And now it's just baseball, Pete. There's some WNBA, but I've taken a beating in WNBA, so I'm not putting too much energy into it. Now that it's just MLB, I'm coming to the show with action. There's enough time for action. Jeffrey Blue in here, Blue Balls play day. So I have 7 bets already placed, which is something that I haven't been doing too much of, and I'm comfortable now trying to beat some spots. There was only one game that I was really wanting to bet that I thought, you know what, I should just wait and talk that with you guys. So I'm excited to cap the card with everybody. Bo Jackson in the house. Let's get to work, Peter, shall we? Shall we get to work, my friend?
Yeah.
We do want to know, though, July 4th. Did you have a wonderful July 4th? Did you do it up?
I don't even fucking remember. That was a Friday, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you what I did this morning, and I can tell you everything about the sports card for tonight. But 5
Let's
days
focus
ago,
on that. But I hope you had a great weekend.
I'm sure it was fine. Otherwise,
I'm sure it's fine.
You always remember when you don't have a good time, so it must have been good.
That is true. That is true. Let's get to work, fellas. We start at 6:35 p.m. There's Chang Kim in the house. What up, Chang, my man? Yes, there's a lot of wonderful spots here on the card, and I don't think I've given Chang, our friend Chang, enough glory. So, yes, Chang, I'll copy and paste that. We'll get a friends and family here for today. Let's get that locked in, and let's get to work. Thank you, Scott, for joining us. Vincent Hawkins. Great to see all of you guys here. We start at 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Peter, we have the New York Mets 52-39, 19-25 on the road at the Baltimore Orioles 40-49, 19-22 at home at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Big Show in the house. Big Show, you'll see a Lions hat did make the board here thus far. Shout out to everything Detroit. Shout out to Detroit City. We have Clay Holmes going up against Brandon Young. I find this game extremely interesting, and it's one of the games that I've not moved on. Let's discuss it. We have light rain and rain throughout. There's a rain issue. There's 2 games there's 4 games in red, according, with RotoWire. There's 2 games here on Swish that possible weather delay, rain out, and this is one of them. 90 Fahrenheit, feels like 96, 6.3 miles per hour to left. And then the wind's all over the place. After an hour, it's blowing in heavy. And then after 2 hours, it's blowing left to right, but still slightly in, down to 4.5 miles per hour. We have Baltimore today. And shout out to our guy, Von Polo, new show going to be popping off here on Pop Culture TV. Mets, Orioles, according to a Ballpark Pal, Oriole Park, Camden Yards, don't call it Oriole Park. Camden plus 9% overall, plus 7% homers, plus 2% doubles and triples, and plus 9% singles. Let's get into the line history here. Again, we don't need to put too much energy into this one, as there is a very real chance that this game doesn't go. And all of these things. Oh, here we go. We have a 10 listed. This opened up 9.5 in the afternoon, very early. It opened up here where I use the site I use for my line shopping at 7:18 p.m. at a 10, minus 113 to the under. Now it's minus 112 to the over. So we've had 13 cents of movement towards this over at 10, but it didn't open at 9.5 earlier in the afternoon from those books that don't fear getting their line out first. The Mets are minus 120. They opened up minus 122. There was a move towards them off the hop. This line opened up at 7:18 p.m. minus 122. Got up to minus 134 at 4:49 a.m. and then came back. It has come back. So we basically had no movement here. Taking a look at the board for cash flow information. We have 68% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the New York Mets. We have 75% of tickets on the under, 75% of cash on the over. Before I dive to Billy Friedrich, my man, the first time I get to wear green ever here, because I've been using the green screen for so long, I picked your hat first, man. Billy Friedrich sent me this hat. I got it at the Ballpark White Sox hat. And it's one of my favorites. And I never get to rock it, Billy, my man.
That looks nice.
Thank you to Billy. It means a ton here. Nice to see him, man. Troy Torrance says getting close to 5,000 games in the market efficiency database. That is That's very cool, man, and very exciting. We're so thankful that you share all of that info with us. So first off, before I dive too deep into these statistics, we've laid the groundwork for the line and the weather. Do you think this game goes, Peter?
From what I'm seeing, my bet, if you could bet on it, which you probably can somewhere, I think that it will go, but there's going to be a late start.
Okay, well that gives us a chance. Just my 2 cents in the house. What up, JTC? Okay, well that gives us some hope here. Troy Torrance says, I hope it doesn't. We have Clay Holmes, 8-4, 2.99 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, 93 in the third, 76 Ks, 11 home runs. Gets a lot of soft contact. He can't always get you the strikeout when you need him. His last start, 7-2 loss at home versus the Brewers. He went 5 in the third, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer. Only struck out 1 batter and walked 4. On the road this year, he's been very good. 8 starts. He's only allowed 13 earned runs. He's allowed 42 hits in 42 innings. Just 3 home runs of those 42 hits. Doesn't get barreled that often. And lefties hit him harder than righties. Lefties 224, 709. Righties just 225, 615. The splits aren't extreme. Then we have Brandon Young getting yet another opportunity. And you guys know I have a soft spot for some of these pitchers with the poor numbers. I try to give excuses for pitchers like I do for thoroughbreds. And back-to-back starts versus the Rangers. I know they're the light-hitting Rangers, but it's not easy to have back-to-back starts against any major league outfit. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a 10-2 loss at Texas in his last start. At home, Peter, he's had 2 starts, and they haven't gone that well. Now, it's just 7 earned runs that he's allowed in those 2 starts, but it's in 8 innings, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 jacks, 364 points batting average. Lefties are destroying him, and righties are hitting him hard. Mets are hitting 255, 792 OPS versus righties. Orioles 232, 738. And if you're looking for an advantage for the Birds, it's the bullpen. The Mets bullpen's been terrible. 5.94 ERA, 1.56 WHIP. While this Orioles bullpen, 3.65 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Voodoo Ranger ready to go. Robert Cherry says, outside of the weather, I lean Mets, but the opening line looks fishy. It does. Why the Mets would only be priced at minus 135. I don't know if they should be. I think that's a little extreme, the minus 170. But you're right. You're saying there's a huge advantage on the mound. You have a team, though, in the Mets that's just 19-25 on the road. I want the Orioles here, Pete. I want the Orioles, but I'd love to hear your breakdown. Take it away, Mets Orioles.
Well, yeah. First of all, the line is a little bit. It's very suspicious, to put it mildly. Holmes, statistically, I'd be liking his hits prop under. I'm just worried that his walks have been so bad in his last bunch of starts that he'll be doing anything to cut down on that, which will make him more vulnerable to hits. But not counting that, I'd be liking under 5.5 hits for Holmes. And yeah, I mean, based on the not so advanced stats that I look at, it seems like the Mets' first 5 would be an obvious play here, but the market isn't quite. Backing that up is, a little bit. Mets are like 140, 150 on the first 5, and less good on the full game. So I guess it is. I don't know. I have no reason to believe that Young will make a significant improvement here, but if he's going out there again, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's just take a couple books here, the main ones that I use for price difference on first 5. Right now, the Mets are just minus 125 full game. And first 5 here, this at 365 first 5, they are minus 140. So we have 15 cents difference. If we do the same thing over at Penny, the Mets are minus 120 full game, and first half, they're minus 147. That's a 27-cent difference. So the market still believes that Brandon Young is vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think that the issue is just the Mets bullpen is being very, very bad. And I think that's probably the biggest issue here. Mr. McKelvey adding the over 10 at minus 107 here, which I get. If this game starts too late, obviously the ballpark pal expectation of plus 9% is going to drop really heavy. And Von Post says, after the 3-hour delay, give me Baltimore to win. Coin saying, where we used to play poker, the Mets are now minus 115. Yeah, I would like to be on the Baltimore Orioles, and I expect that's what I'm going to do. Peter. I'm going to take the Orioles to win this baseball game, and I'm going to take all 9 innings for them to do it.
Yeah. Makes some sense to me. I'd be leaning maybe like Alonso, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, but I really don't understand. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything indicating Young will improve here, but maybe it exists. I just don't see it. And Holmes is in a weird spot with all of his his success, but his control issues.
I mean, yes, the Orioles are 9 games under 500 against a team that's 13 games over 500, but the Orioles have a better home record than the Mets have a road record. And Mr. Belvedere locked in Orioles plus 121 this morning. Beautiful work. Excellent work. Wine Time's going to join me on the Orioles. This is not a bet I need to place anytime soon. I do think that the market, will be, whatever line happens will be indicative of how much I should invest, even though I play everything the same unit size at this point. But it's going to be the Baltimore Orioles for me, Peter. The Baltimore Orioles for me. You have a Pete Alonso lean, but you're going to leave it off with the weather.
Yeah,
issue.
I'm going to just too much weirdness. I'll pass.
All right, let's roll on to game 2, which is my first bet on the board, Peter. I am on the Tampa Bay Rays first 5 innings. I want to fade Jack Flaherty, and I wanted to fade Jack Flaherty in his last start, which I did. I took the Nats team total over, and I want to fade him. And the issue here is maybe I'm just being too harsh that he's vulnerable because he's been better at home than he's been on the road. So let's talk about this one. Tampa Bay Rays, Detroit Tigers. And this is my first bet that I have placed today. I got the minus 105 over at 365. Offshore, I saw it at a minus 107. Robert Franklin asking if Brandon Lau is out. I'm not sure that we can get the official information here from maybe someone in the chat. Wager Detective looking at it here. Stacks play today here. Number 2 is in business in our first game on the board. And we missed Stacks play today number 1. I should have mentioned that. So Stacks plays of the day, hammering the first 2 games of the day. Soto over 1.5 bases at minus 105. And Diaz over 1.5 bases. Diaz of the Rays over 1.5 bases at plus 110. So we have, and speaking of the 5,000 spots that is now in the market efficiency database, our guy Stacks of the consistency of this man, it's given us over 1,070 bets here. And shout out to our guy Justin McKelvey and the Stacks play of the day.
Stacks.
Swiggy in the house. Nice to see you, Swiggy, my man. Julian Cesario in the house. And he just figured out being locked out of chat. Nice to have you back, my man. Great to have you back. Julian Cesario, great actor, great friend of the channel, coming to us from Los Angeles, California, and also
great singer. You don't even know that. Some people don't even know that.
And he was a huge part of Pubapalooza as well. He's a great guy. So here I am on the Tampa Bay Rays first 5. We're at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan, where the Tigers are 31-14. The Rays, though, are 4 games over 500 on the road, and I am a Pepio backer. Let's take a look at this line history. Initially, there was a move towards the Tigers, but that came back. Tigers opened up minus 122. I guess I should say we've had U-shaped movement because initially there was the first move was towards the Rays. The Rays went from plus 111 down to plus 100. But then there was a legit move back to the Tigers. That's when the Tigers got up to minus 128. And at that point, Peter, I was like, maybe I don't need to move on it. But then I saw the move back to the Rays, and I was like, okay. It moved a couple times. At 10:01 a.m., the Rays got down to plus 109, and then back up to 116, and then back to 112. Overall, there's been a tightening of VIG, basically no movement whatsoever. From a total standpoint here, we have an 8 minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 8.5. This got down to 8 at one point. And I can't, under any circumstances, really trust Jack Flaherty right now. And I'm a big fan of his. I watch him closely, and he just doesn't look as good. He's a very streaky pitcher.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, he had a fine start. He didn't get off to a very good beginning of it, but in the end, he has 9 strikeouts over 5 innings. He allows 3 earned runs, walks 2 and a 9.4 win. It was fine.
You can't get the stat line. You can get lucky in lots of different ways. Strikeouts, that's not easy to get lucky on. 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's not insignificant.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think he does concern me, and maybe he does pitch well here. Lefties hit him harder than righties. Brandon Lau at this point is expected to be in the lineup. We'll hear from you guys, but you have Aranda, you have Josh Lowe, and you have Simpson. Also, Mangum is a switchy. He can decide whether he wants to hit from the left or the right. But lefties are hitting 231, 788 against him. For Pepio, he's been excellent on the road. He's allowed 13 earned runs over 6 starts. Points hitting 230 against him. He's allowed just 2 home runs in 30 and a third. He's had so many starts in that little tough ballpark that he pitches in, George M. Steinbrenner Field. His last start was at home. He allowed 2 earned runs. There were solo shots over 6 innings. Still struck out 9. Rays are hitting hard right now. They're hitting 284, 789 OPS last 30 days versus righties, while the Tigers are 260, 802. And both bullpens are very vulnerable. Both bullpens struggle. So here we go. I'm on the Rays first 5. I got minus 105. Again, I was at 365. And if I was to move on this right now, I would be getting the exact same number, minus 105 that I got previously. So nothing has changed here. By the way, I didn't touch on the weather. Let me do that quickly for everybody, Peter. It is 83 Fahrenheit, feels like 84, 5.4 miles per hour right to left and in, stays at 5.4 for the duration of the baseball game. And when we take a look at Comerica Park on Ballpark Palace, plus 1% overall, minus 10% home runs, plus 1% doubles and triples, and plus 9% singles. And we got the Skull and Bones from Troy Torrance, expecting a very low-scoring affair here. I'm on the Rays first 5. Peter, what's your move?
Yeah, it makes me a little bit nervous to fade people like Flaherty, who are obviously getting hit hard, but still getting strikeouts. He did, though, face Tampa Bay recently and got shellacked at Tampa Bay. So does that mean that they match up well against him, or that he'll bounce back? In general, it makes me nervous. Tempting to take the Aranda 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs prop at just like minus 105 or so. And that guy Simpson's been hitting well recently, some speed. His 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs is low too. I was thinking about Colt Keith. But yeah, I don't necessarily like an over here. Just some props where there's matchups that look good. Colt Keith hits leading off probably, and it's a slider. Well, Caminero also might be good for Tampa Bay, but Troy really liking the under, huh?
Troy really liking the under. Let me touch on this a little bit more here. Yes, you have an advantage with Pepio over Flaherty, but you have a Tigers team that's 31-14 at home.
And Pepio is also, in general, more vulnerable on the road,
I don't think so. I think that little ballpark is very tricky. And if you have to pitch at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, the fly balls out to center field that would die before the warning tracks sail over the wall.
Yeah.
And that even if the stats don't yet show it. Right. And that's because Pepio has thrown 102 1/3 innings, and only 30 1/3 have come on the road, where these ballparks are much easier to pitch in than that little bandbox. I think his numbers on the road are going to only improve as we go through and forward.
No, you're absolutely right. And he's given up 14 home runs in 72 innings at home. On the road, 30 innings, 2 home runs. Wow. That is a stark discrepancy.
Yeah.
So solo shots at home then.
I also like the price difference. I think it's a 15-cent price difference here from plus 110 to minus 105 on the Rays first 5. And the Rays bullpen has been a problem. And look, the Tigers are still hitting righties very hard. 260, 802 OPS last 30 days. That's better than the Rays 284, 789 or similar. And the Rays bullpen has been a real problem here. Troy Torrance says his range for this total 62 to 71% on the under. And then from another offshore 365 are legit, but from an offshore here, just to see the price difference for you guys, we have the Rays at plus 112, and then first five, they're minus 107. So it's a 19-cent price difference here for the Rays first five, 15-cent price difference for the Rays first five at 365. Vincent Hawkins says Tampa's not hitting. Well, I think they can get enough here. I think they can get enough. I think I'm in real nice shape here, considering a team that's won 31 out of 45 games at home is being priced as a very tiny favorite and a non-favorite, not a dog, a slight dog in the first five. So I'm in business here, I believe. Anything you want to make official here, Peter, before we move on to game three?
No, I mean, leaning, Colt Keith hits, runs, and RBIs is like minus 120. And for Tampa Bay, maybe Caminero, Miranda, Simpson are all tempting. I might add on officially some of those, but as of right now, yeah, I'll think about it a little bit more.
All right. Let's roll on. Kong says really want to fade Robbie Ray today off a 9-inning performance. Not sure yet. I don't know, because Robbie Ray only threw 102 pitches in that start. 102 pitches. And he's thrown over 100 pitches in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's thrown 100 pitches in 5 starts this year. His highest pitch count this year is 108. So I don't know if it's that big of a deal. It's not like it was an outlier performance with the amount of pitches he threw. But it is a very interesting spot that I do want to talk through here. Ham says, yes, that's why I like the Rays also. But to be fair, Rays were priced this way yesterday and lost also. This is also a Tigers revenge series. Oh, very legitimate. Very, very legitimate. But that's my first bet here. I'm on the Rays first 5. That's how I get my card started, Peter. Anything you want to make official before we move on to Mariners Yankees?
No, but I'll probably add on at least one batter prop for the Rays, and maybe Colt Keith.
All right. Well, let's move on to game 3. So this is the game that I wanted to bet that I didn't. And I want the Yankees here. I want the Yankees, and I still believe I can get there. I just wanted to talk it out. And again, it was the price difference for the Mariners first 5 to full game. And of course there should be a price difference here. Of course there should be a price difference with Logan Gilbert going up against Will Warren. But I just needed time to sit here and decide if it's warranted and if it should, just how to handle it. Because I was going to invest 2 units in this baseball game as well. And so that's the only game that I was close to betting that I didn't here. We have Logan Gilbert 2-2, 3.40. Yes, Wager Detective. One of those games, though, was horrific weather, like perfect weather conditions for offense. It was an early game in George M. Steinbrenner Field. Wind was blowing out heavy. And if you took that one out of it, I still really believe in him. And again, with these Rays pitchers, and I guess with every pitcher in Major League Baseball, which is why it's so difficult, is you got to look at exactly where the starts were.
Yes.
You can't just take the numbers as again, with our whole conversation we've had over the last few weeks about how numbers lie. It was a conversation I enjoyed immensely. We're in the Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx. Vincent Hawkins looking at the dumper homer props. Let's get into the weather here, Pete, in the Bronx. Again, we have rain as an issue, but while this is read in RotoWire, this is not a possible weather delay rain out over in Swish, which is interesting. But even when it says full rain at 9 p.m., it still says 27% precipitation. Before we get too deep into this one, Peter, your thoughts on whether this game goes or not?
Which one? So you don't want to start a hashtag believe all stats on X? Believe all stats, except the ones that don't support my biases. Yeah, I think that let's see. I think that actually this one concerns me because this one looks like it will start, but then very possibly get cut off at the end. So that's very, very. You have to tread carefully with those.
Yes, and we have Spooner saying Warren is a 1.8 whip versus lefties. Yes, lefties against Will Warner hitting 282 with an 832 OPS, and it is a problem. It is a problem. But an Irish King in the house. What about Irish King? We got Jason Maiva, Eldorado, Custodian, Timmy Tushu, ready to get to work. Fernando Mendoza, a great group here rocking with us. Logan Gilbert, 2-2, 3.40 ERA, 0.95 WHIP, 74 strikeouts and 50 in a third. So he is throwing 50 in a third innings. 15 of those innings have come on the road. 35 of those innings have come where he dominates. T-Mobile. His last start was at T-Mobile. We cashed the first 3 under. Did we push the first 3 under? We for sure cashed the full game under. He went 4 2/3. He allowed 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 3 walks, 3-2 win at home over the Royals. On the road this year, in 15 innings, he's allowed 10 earned runs. He's allowed 4 home runs, and opponents are hitting .313 against him. And lefties hit him hard. Lefties hit him harder than righties. 231, 729 OPS. Lefties, Grisham, Bellinger, Chisholm, Austin Wells. If it's lefties that hurt you, this is probably a good lineup to pitch against. Chris Warren is on the Mariners money line. AM says Yankees money line. Yankees piss poor form, but still favored here. Great buy low spot and bad travel spot for the Mariners. Spooner says this is a Seattle spot. In my opinion, they have a better starter, deeper bullpen, and batters that want to hit. He has Seattle at plus 115. Wine time is the Mariners at plus 110. Robert Franklin on the Yankees money line. So at least at this point, I can cut a unit off of it if I still decide to move on the Yankees, because I still am interested in them. Will Warren's last start was horrific at the Blue Jays, but his home starts have started to get good. I don't know. Overall, he's allowed 16 earned runs, over 43 in a third. Just 4 home runs, and just 32 hits in 43 innings. But again, lefties do rake Will Warren. Mariners versus righties last 30 days, 267, 755 OPS. Yankees versus righties, 248, 753 OPS. So again, if I think that Logan Gilbert's numbers are extremely fraudulent, everything that we've been talking about, just because they've all taken place in the pitcher's ballpark that historically he dominates in. When he goes out on the road, he gets touched violently. 89 Fahrenheit, feels like 93 miles per hour to center, dies down at 5.4 miles per hour. We have Yankee Stadium plus 12% overall, plus 40% homers, minus 7% doubles and triples, and minus 4% singles. Line history-wise, the Yankees right now, and looks like it has not changed at all, or it's come back to where it was, minus 125, which is where I was looking at it, hours ago at minus 125, hours and hours ago. So it's bounced around a bit, but it's come back. Still 7-cent move towards the New York Yankees. And then when we look at a total here, we have a 9, minus 117 to the under. This total has not moved. This money line has moved slightly towards the Yankees. And when we take a look at the board here for game 3 on our card, we have, let's get over here. We have 50% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on the Mariners. That's been the case since very early this morning. Big bets have come in on the Mariners. It's not affected the market at all. 75% of tickets and 83% cash on the under, and it's not moved. And Vincent says, well, the over is the play. Jimmy, thank you, Scott, for your support, my man. Slow Jam says, I'm not touching the Yanks or Dodgers right now. Peter, I am all ears. Take it away.
I because of the weather, I didn't make any bets on this one. Statistically, my note here is very careful, but first 3 under. You don't like either of these starters for that?
No, I don't. But no, I know it just not. There's actually, in all honesty, there's nothing for me that I don't even get the first box ticked. I think that Will Warren bounces back. I think Logan Gilbert's very vulnerable. Yeah. On the road. We have a lot of tickets in cash coming in on the under, and it's not moving.
Right.
What threw me for the loop in here? I'll just tell you, and then I'll keep listening. What made me just stop my tracks was that. Now, look, I understand that Gilbert is an advantage, but the Mariners bullpen has been so much better than the Yankees bullpen over the last 30 games. Over the last 30 days, this year. And yet the Mariners are plus 115 full game, and they're minus 105 first 5, a 20-cent difference. And then when we go to a different offshore just to hear the price difference for the first 5 in full game. The Yankees full game are minus 125, and first half they're it's the exact same number. So 20 cents at both books. And it's hard for me to understand that fully with a huge bullpen advantage for the Mariners. So I'm reading all the notes here, and will be listening intently to you, Peter. Take it away.
Yeah, I guess statistically, I was also leaning Grisham 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. By the way, you know what? I will add Chandler Simpson 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at even money plus 100. I'll take that. Yeah, I guess I'll pass with this one as well.
Over 1.5 hits, runs,
Simpson,
RBIs. What was the juice on that?
Even plus 100.
Plus 100. Okay. All right. Chandler Simpson was being talked about too by cappers in the chat.
And shout out to Justin McElvey pointing out Camanero's home road splits. I wasn't quite aware of that. Thank you. Don't think I didn't catch that, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Justin's the man. So again, wine time on the Mariners, Spooner on the Mariners, Chris Warren on the Mariners, and then on the other side, we have AM on the Yankees, Robert Franklin on the Yankees, Ronnie Lofton on a Rosarrain over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And
sorry, that was Jermaine 34. Sorry about that. Not
both great great
back.
cappers. Beavis also on the Mariners money line. Okay, well, I'll need more time on this, and I guess when it comes down to it, I guess I'm thankful for the more time and not talking about a bet that I've already made. So, gonna take more time here. AM saying Yankees off a frustrating road trip, getting beat up by the Mets and Blue Jays. Now return home to face a hot Mariners team come from the West Coast. Books inviting Mariners cash. That's how I feel about it too. And then I feel that the advantage, the pitching advantage, statistically, is not as legitimate as it looks at first glance. And in saying that, I'm going to need more time to decide if there's some very strong cappers on the other side, and I could just stay off as well. So I'm going to need more time. Peter, my friend, and just my 2 cents says, boys, the Rockies making better contact at the plate than y'all. Smash the like. Thank you. Just my 2 cents. Troy Torrance says, looks like the bookies made the adjustment on the Yankees. AOD says Warren is cheeks. Scott says Warren has been a gas can for the last few games.
He just has very, very high volatility. So he's one of those guys where if I'm betting on him or against him, I try to take dog lines.
Yes, I would like to.
A couple of those guys on today's card.
I would like just to touch on that further because I did not feel like that was the case with Warren. I know that he got destroyed in his last start, but I certainly didn't feel like he's being. No, he was excellent. 5 earned runs over.
I'm just talking about statistically looking back.
And I'm just replying to being a gas can the last few games. Over 5 earned runs over 23 innings. I mean, 2 of those starts were, scoreless. So I was surprised that he got, lit up. And also I lost on him. I was on the Yankees in that game against the Jays. So, but yes, Scott, no, he's not had a good season. And I just lost on him when he got absolutely dominated by the Jays. So yeah, you're not wrong. Okay. I hear that, Scott. Okay, let's roll on to Jose's Boston Red Sox. I'm going to obviously need lots of time to think about that Yankee spot. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Peter, we have the Rockies at the Boston Red Sox. Rockies 21-70, 11-34 on the road. Red Sox 47-45, 26-20 at home. We're at Fenway Park, Boston. Take a look at the weather here. 86 Fahrenheit, feels like 92, 5.4 miles per hour. Indice down at 4.5 miles per hour. We take a look at the weather. Fenway Park is plus 15% overall. It's the second, tied for second with Great American Ballpark. Just behind Sutter Health Park is the most offensive ballparks on today's schedule. Fenway Park's minus 4% home runs, though, but plus 22% doubles and triples and plus 12% singles. We have Kyle Freeland, who knows very well what it's like to pitch in offensive conditions. And Spooner says, would like to note 2 of 4 Gilbert's full seasons as a starter. He has a better ERA on the road than at home. Wow, that does throw me for a loop. I thought he was so often so much more dominant at home. And very crucial information, Spooner, that I thank you very much for. 2024 last year. Okay, so I guess I just thinking about last year. He was excellent. 2.49 ERA, opponents hitting 188 against him. So I guess it must be 2023 that Spooner's talking about. And yes, 2023 better road record. So yeah, I guess it's just last year in my head, Spooner. 2022, it was even. And then his first year in 2021 was even. Okay, yeah. No, it's just last year in my head he shoved and interesting. Okay. Let's roll here. And Troy Torrance says, Nasty Nate, what to do with this Red Sox lineup? How do we bet it? And of course, Nasty Nate would reply, Red Sox smash. Kyle Freeland, 1-9, 5.49 ERA, 1.58 whip, 83 and 2/3, 61 Ks, 20 walks, 9 home runs. His last start was nice. It was at home. It was against the Astros, who've been hitting lefties very, very hard. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 Ks, and 2 walks. On the road, he's had 8 starts. He's allowed 23 earned runs. I mean, there's no spot where Freeland has been good. Lefties are hitting 282, 724 against him, and righties 332, 860. Those numbers have dropped quite a bit. Brian Bayo on the other side, 4-3, 3.42 ERA, 1.38 whip. His strikeout numbers are down this year. In his last start, 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 1 walk, and a 5-3 win at home over the Reds. At home this year, he pitched in that continued game last out. So it wasn't a start, that 5-inning start, but he looked very good. So he's pitched in 10 games, started 9, 55 innings, 53 hits, 22 earned runs. He's only allowed 3 jacks and 257 opponents batting average. Splits are pretty good. The Red Sox are destroying lefties right now, 278, 845 OPS, while the Rockies versus righties, 251, 735 OPS. And Red Sox bullpen is starting to get touched a little bit. 3.93 ERA, 1.41 whip last 30 days after pitching quite well. And then the Rockies bullpen, 5.84 ERA, 1.53 whip. Peter, I'm going to go over the line history, and then we'll hear your plan of attack here for the Boston Red Sox. This total is in 9. It's 9. This total opened up at 9 at a pick'em. When it was first available in the afternoon, it was a 9.5, and it was juiced to the over. I'm surprised that this is just a 9, Pete, and now it's juiced to the under in these conditions. I'm quite surprised. From a money line standpoint here, the Boston Red Sox opened up minus 225. Now they're minus 262. Had a huge move towards them. Vincent Hawkins on the Red Sox double result. Scott's on the over in the Red Sox run line. Robert Franklin on the Red Sox run line. And Troy Torrance says backing the truck up, which we would guess then would mean that this is none other than a possible cash cow situation. Peter, let's just touch on the board just to see the cash flow, and then I look forward to hear your plan of attack. 80% of the tickets are on the Red Sox, but just 52% of the cash. That's not stopping the market move heavily in the Red Sox direction. Then you have 65% of tickets on the under, 63% of cash on the over, and it continues to drop. BJ says clear Red Sox spot, parlay piece maybe. Steve G says absolute worst pitching in Major League Baseball, easy fade. Take it away for us, Peter. Rockies at Red Sox.
Sorry, I'm trying to sign this site, and I've just failed 2 of these, which I'm going to click on all the fire hydrant checks here. I'm trying to fucking get into the thing. Jesus Christ, I'm only seeing 1. Is that a fire hydrant?
You're gonna have to share the computer to see if you can help.
Got it.
Okay,
Bam.
there you go.
All right. Okay. First of all, I am going to add Aranda as well. 1.5. I'll shop around for the best line. Yeah, this one. Yes, I think that Bayo, even if he gives up some runs, I like his hits prop. I bet that one under 5.5 hits. Bayo is putting it together. not lights out, but definitely decent and putting it together. And I think, he's more likely than not to have another decent 5-inning, 2-run, something like that kind of start. And so I like his hits prop under. And yeah, I mean, Boston definitely should get to Freeland for at least 2 or 3. There's a few, I'd like to take Toro 1.5 hit runs and RBIs, but maybe not if he's batting 8th or something like that. Nate Eaton, if he's hitting leadoff, that looks good. And maybe Gonzalez RBI, Trevor Story hits runs RBIs. Yeah, I like Boston to get to Freeland at least a decent amount. I think Bayo should have another decent start, not lights out, but definitely decent. And I had some Colorado hit props yesterday that cashed, so I'm not like auto fading Colorado offense on the road, but yeah, yes, I definitely think it's kind of no-brainer-ish here.
Shout out to our guy Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet play. They will be coming up in a little bit. So, I mean, I understand the situation. I get it. Breaking down the numbers, and I am surprised that this has gone from 9.5 to 9 in these conditions, and your expectation of Bayo under his hit total that these pitchers are just comfortable in these very offensive conditions. I guess this is just going to need more time for me. Here, is there anything you want to make official before we move on to our next spot on the board?
Yeah, no, I bet. I mean, what offensive conditions are you seeing? You're seeing ballpark pal?
Yes.
Yeah, that might be just that home runs or what are they saying about hits?
Hits are way up. Home runs are down.
Really?
Yeah, but home runs are -4%. Doubles and triples are +22%.
Okay.
And singles are +12%.
Wow. All right. Maybe I made a mistake there. Maybe I won't give it officially, but yeah, the Boston props, I'm definitely liking. I'll add a bunch of Boston hitter props. When I think this pitcher's going to get touched like that, I'll usually put 2 or 3 or 4, whatever I'm liking, and wanting all but one to cash, and that often is the case.
Huh. Red Sox is the cash cow. I will figure that out here. Oh, and look at that. Perfect timing. Just before we move past the Boston Red Sox, we have our producer and co-host here on Betting with the Bag Star of Say Hey Plays, come to us from our home studio in San Antonio, Texas, the Southtown 101 Best Bar in Texas. You must check it out if you're in the area. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Jose Bouquet, to the show. Jose, how are you?
I wore green. So bad ball by me. I wore green, but it's nice to see you. It's nice to see that background. I feel like I haven't seen it in a decade. And Pete, I'm glad that you are still in the closet, and you've got a nice mirror back there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You got to look good. You got to look. You write that? You didn't write that yourself. He's fucking going to Chat GPT and give me a good joke for this visual.
That's multi-layered.
It was all right. I mean, look, it was good. Whether he thought of it or used Chat GPT, I guess it doesn't really matter in 2025. It was good. Kudos to you, Jose Bouquet.
It's a nice mirror. They ain't cheap, I get it.
All right. Relax.
Coming in firing.
Chops.
Jose, are you moving on Rockies, Red Sox?
I don't have any bets in so far, and I'm trying to catch up with all the action here with you guys here. So hearing that the cash cow, or you just said the cash cow was on the Red Sox was pretty funny. Troy, I'm sure you have the stats of who has been the cash cow the most in the last few years that you've been tracking this. I bet you that this is the first time in 2, 3, 4 years that this market has been on the Red Sox. So
in fact, Jose, yesterday the Red Sox were a cash cow.
Oh, really? Wow, look at that. Well, okay, so aside from the last 2 games, I'd love to know when the last time the cash cow was on the Red Sox here. So I'm fascinated to see how they do again. This is a really funny part of their schedule because they came from the Nationals, who are horrible. They play the Rockies here, and then I think they go the White Sox next. And then they go into the House of Pain when it goes to after the trade deadline and all that stuff. But Red Sox are hot. I keep riding the hot hand. So I'd be on the Red Sox with you, and maybe I'll add Red Sox on a parlay, or maybe I'll make my second -1.5 bet all year. But nothing here for me. Jimmy, to catch up on the other games here real quick, you're on the Baltimore Orioles, right?
Well, I've come to the show with 7 bets, and this isn't one of them.
Wow. 7 bets?
Yeah.
It's almost like you haven't been on the show for a long time. You were just eager to get all the action.
No, because now it's different now with just baseball. I can get all of the statistics set up for the show and then sit with them for an hour and a half or 2 hours. So but until maybe, like college football and NFL and all that comes around, I should be coming to the show now with more action instead of figuring it out with you guys. But Orioles is going to be my first edition.
Yeah, I'm on the Orioles with you, +110. Obvious bet. And by the way, we talk about him frequently. Shout out to Dennis Garcia for helping me cash live Ben Shelton yesterday, and we've cashed live Sabalenka this morning. So the live tennis action has been nice. So shout out to Dennis Garcia for starting that ball rolling for me.
Sure.
Yes, I am on the Baltimore Orioles. I thought that was, pretty easy market spot. So I'm on them there. The Tigers-Rays game, I think, is very fascinating as well. I like Pepio. I am an anti-Flaherty guy, so it seems like I should just be on the Rays here. 50-50 cash flow, basically, in tickets. 8-cent drop. It depends on where you're looking, obviously, but move towards the Rays. Eileen Rays, I hadn't gotten there yet. And Jimmy, you were also on the Yankees here because
that was the lone bet that I got cold feet with the price difference. First 5. I just wanted to sit with it and talk it out, and then hearing,
everyone's on the Mariners.
Not everyone.
Like a
Not
long
everyone. You had AM and Robert Franklin on the other side, but you had Wine Time on the Mariners. You had Spooner on the Mariners. Vincent Hawkins on Seattle team total over. We had who else? There was other cappers on the Mariners. So it's Chris Warren.
Yeah, I lean Yankees, if I'm being honest. It reminds me of a line from last week, and I did lose this bet, so maybe I shouldn't be on the Yankees. But it was like -120-ish, and Will Warren was on the bump against another pitcher who just didn't reserve the right to be that high. I forget what the game was or what it was now. So, but it's just fascinating to me that Will Warren is favored against Logan Gilbert, even if it's in the Yankees. And the price is now getting a little bit more expensive to bet. -118 opener a penny, now -124 a penny. I think that's a pretty clear market spot for the Yankees. Now, I know the Yankees have been playing like fucking dog shit because they're a horrible team, like we've been saying all damn year, Jimmy, that this Yankees team sucks. I just didn't know that your Blue Jays would be the one getting it. By the way, did you see that the Blue Jays, this is the best record the Blue Jays have had at this point in the season since their World Series team?
1992.
Not even the fucking Tulowitzki, Encarnacion, Donaldson, all those guys, Bautista, none of those guys had as good of a record.
Remember, we were heavy on those years at the trade deadline, and then we go wild. I remember the price pickup at the trade deadline, Tulo at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I was a big Tulowitzki guy, and then I suddenly had to not like him when he came into my division, especially when it's the Yankees, too.
I remember screaming all those, Tulowitzki to the wall, till the sweat drip off my balls. To strangers, to everybody, I'd be screaming it, I'd sing it on the way home. I was just talking about the sweat dripping off my balls and Tulowitzki to the wall, Jose.
Well, Pete, speaking of sweat dripping down your balls, did you have action on I'm catching up, like I said. Did you have action on Mariners, Yankees? Did you just stay off?
No.
I know you're not a side guy anymore. You just fucking bet your player props now.
Well, yeah, and the weather is there's from what I'm seeing right now, a real chance that the game will go but be short. So,
Okay. Well, I'll stay off, I guess, for now too. But if I look later and I see the Yankees -130, like it is at BOL, bookmaker, all those places. If I see it at minus 130, I'll be compelled to go bet the Yankees and put my money in Spoons and Wine Time's pocket, as I've done many times this year. So, I like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I want to bother going up against these guys? And I mean, you're not going to have a positive ROI in a bigger sample size going up against them. So I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to have to sit with it for.
God, it looks so weird looking down and just seeing your hats again. I feel like I'm in 2019 or whatever the fuck. I don't remember what the year you started at Pub Sports Radio. Everything's a blur at this point.
Yeah, it's nice to have him back, man. It's nice to have him back.
I rotate him too, guys. People don't even know about the low key rotation Jimmy has.
I can fill up the MLB. The more now I can wear my green again. Look, I don't want to wear green. I got A's jerseys, A's hats, A's shit. I'm excited. And then we could fill this all up with baseball if we want, football, hockey.
Yeah, and Pete's got that great mirror in the back, so we're all set. Everything's good. We're all good here.
Okay, let's get to work. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The Miami Marlins 41-48, 21-21 on the road. At the Cincinnati Reds 46-45, 24-20 at home.
By the way, Justin McKelvey, Little John's the guy with the big clock. Suck it. Suck it. How about that? It's some good bangers. Yeah.
Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's talk about the weather here in Cincinnati. It is 87 Fahrenheit. Feels like 93. 2.7 miles per hour out to right center. Dies down to 1.8 miles per hour.
Oh, apparently that's Flavor Flav.
I thought that was the joke.
I thought
that was the joke. You could have stuck with it. You should have stuck with it.
I did. You know what? Sometimes honesty is the best policy. Good dating show, Favor Flav.
Oh, God. We have Great American Ballpark plus 15% overall, plus 35% home runs. So, Peter, that was the interesting thing about the difference we were talking about with Fenway Park, because they're both plus 15% overall offense. But Great American Ballpark home runs are plus 35%, doubles, triples -2, and singles -2, whereas Fenway Park's plus 15%, -4% home runs, but plus 22% doubles and triples and plus 12% singles. We have Yuri Perez on the hill against Nick Martinez, who is very tricky.
God, what an asshole he is for his last start. Unbelievable. You throw 1,000 pitches, go a complete game, almost throw a no-hitter, whatever it was, and he come back and pitch well again. What didn't even pitch well? The Red Sox just fucking gave that game away. But God, what an annoying game that was.
Yeah, it was. But I still don't know what to do with him when it comes down to it. And Yuri Perez is a pitcher that I probably had too much belief in over the years. He's coming off a fantastic start, 4-0 win at home over the Twins. I believe that was against Woods Richardson, but 6 innings, 1 hit, 7 Ks, 1 walk. On the road, 3 starts, 11 1/3, 10 hits, 8 earned runs, 8 Ks, 8 walks. So I kind of still, even though the Marlins have been better on the road than they have been at home, I don't trust their pitchers on the road. And maybe I'm. Well, here, obviously, he struggled in the 3 starts he's had on the road. But his splits are very strong. He's just had issues walking batters, and those walks have really reared their head on the road. Nick Martinez, 6-8, 4.20 ERA, 1.17 whip. Last start, we talked about against Red Sox, 6 2/3, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 Ks, didn't walk a batter. At home this year, he started 8 games. He's pitched in 9. He's allowed 18 earned runs over 47 1/3. Opponent's hitting .298 against him. And it's righties. Righties are hitting him, very hard. And he's just taking out lefties. So, Edwards will hit from the right side. And then you have Otto Lopez, you have Ramirez, you have Wagaman, and Norby and Myers. Again, it's a better group than it sounds. Spooner says, let's not forget Perez got to rehab with Sandy. He's coming into a groove under the tutelage of one of the best pitchers on the game. Coin saying Miami on a 10-win road streak right now. And Ronnie Lofton is on the under 9. Says, I usually lean overs in this part, but neither offense scares me at the moment. So Lefties, righties. We talked about those splits for Yuri Perez. Marlins are hitting 270 with a 732 OPS versus righties. The Reds are 245, 692. Marlins bullpen has continued to pitch well. 3.33 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. The situation with the Marlins bullpen is the top end of that bullpen, which is all going to be traded away here in the next 2 weeks, is very good. And then the bottom end is terrible. So when they're winning, they shut down and win games. And when they're losing, the spread gets bigger. Reds bullpen, 4.58 ERA, 1.36 WHIP have been a problem the last 30 days. Let's get into the line history here. You have Nick Martinez and the Reds at minus 113. They opened up minus 121. An 8-cent move away from them. The Marlins have gone from plus 109 to plus 104. That's appealing. It's a very appealing after what everyone's seen Nick Martinez do of late. Then from a total perspective, we have the under 9 at minus 110. It opened up minus 105. We had 5 cents of movement towards that under. And then when we get to the cash flow here, we have 70% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the Reds, 58% of the tickets, and 93% of cash on the over. So maybe despite if there's ducks on the pond, some of these fly balls are going to soar out. But if you can keep the bases clear, it certainly feels like the Marlins in the under the sharp side. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, easy Marlins bet for me, plus 105. I believe it just bet 2 seconds ago. I already forgot the number, but yeah, plus 105. Yeah, easy Marlins bet for me. You just read off the market, 10 cents of movement, all the money on the Reds. I think Nick Martinez, great stretch of games here. I will now fade him for this next few games he pitches here. Faded him last time. The Red Sox proved to be ass that day, but now they're at least doing well. But Nick Martinez's 4 earned runs were noticed, and I think that the ballpark will obviously help an offense that's not great in the Marlins. And as Spoon says, even though he loves Sandy Alcantara and thinks he's God's gift to the earth, he rehabbed Yuri Perez with Sandy. I think that there's plenty of opportunity here for him to really set himself up. And I think Sandy's on that team for I don't know how long that we are from the trade deadline. 2 weeks. I think he's got 2 more weeks on that team. So Yuri Perez is going to be the guy, and I think he pitches like the guy. So Yuri Perez and the Marlins for me.
Interesting. AM starting to like the Reds more that he looks at it, and Billy Friedrich says the Reds smash. Scott's on Miami money line. BJ saying this is a clear Marlins spot. Billy Friedrich says now he's on the road in the heat. 6'8", big guy gonna melt in the heat.
He's Dominican. Ain't no problem. Is he Dominican? I'm pretty sure he's Dominican.
I think he's Dominican, but I'd have to double check that. But let's go hear from Mr. Loshak, Marlins Reds.
Well, there were a few things that I was liking here. First of all, I don't usually bet home run props, but I do think that De La Cruz home run at better than 3-1 is worth a shot. Even when Perez has not given up home runs this year, but he's one of those guys who is excellent and kind of like what's that guy, Hunter Green or whatever. I forgot what the fuck is his first name.
Lodolo.
I'm sorry.
Were you looking for Lodolo there? Sorry.
No, I'm looking for Green. But
Riley Green.
No.
Hunter. You said it right. Hunter Green.
Okay.
Yeah. He could easily have a great start, give up 1 hit and 2 earned runs because he like a walk and a home run and get a lot of strikeouts here. So I like both De La Cruz home run and under 4.5 hits for Perez. And I also, I'm not a big believer in Martinez going forward, but I do kind of like his strikeout prop at over 3.5 minus 160. I know Martinez is one of those guys who gets crushed, but still, gets a bunch of strikeouts, or he'll have 7-inning excellent starts where he gets 2 or 3 strikeouts. So that can be very frustrating. But statistically, I like the Martinez strikeout prop over 3.5, Perez under 4.5 hits, and De La Cruz to hit a home run at better than 3-1. Not sure what I want to make official, but so you guys are all thinking that, Martinez obviously going forward, he's not going to give you too many more 8-inning one-hitters, but how down are you? How down are you on him, Jose Bouquet, and the chat?
On Perez or Martinez? Sorry.
Martinez, sorry.
I just think he had a stretch. I don't have his game logs in front of me, Jimmy. I'm sure you do. He had a stretch of 4 or 5 games where he just dominant. Just shoved it up Cab's ass. He just had hate in his heart, thinking about Daddy Cab talking shit about him.
Oh, weren't we talking about Yuri Perez?
No, we're talking Martinez.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
But yeah, had hate in his heart. And I think after that flourished, the crescendo in that 9 inning or whatever it was, I think he starts coming back down to earth here. I think he's not that good of a pitcher, as Cab says frequently. And I think it's just ups and downs on the baseball season like a roller coaster. And I think here comes the downturn.
Right. All right. Well, I'll definitely make De La Cruz home run official. I'll shop around for the best line. I'll also make the Perez under 4.5 hits line official. And Perez, do we think that his last start was an anomaly, and he comes crashing back down to earth, or he's getting it right now?
I'm team getting it right.
Interesting. And I'll take a stab at it, AM, though. I mean, you know that I don't talk about what happened yesterday. I don't talk about, I don't really care about. I take every game as an individual situation. But, and AM says Reds putting up only 1 run in each last 3 games. I mean, but yet still favored here. Marlins have been very hot. Also, why are the Reds still favored? I mean, when I look at this, I see a Reds team that's a game over 500 against a Marlins team that's 7 games under 500. Yes, the Marlins have played better on the road, but they're 500 on the road, while the Reds are 4 games over 500 at home. And the whole world just watched Nick Martinez 2 games ago go complete. Did he finish the complete? I thought he finished the complete.
It was either that or 8 2/3. I kind of forgot.
In line 1 and run, and then he did follow it up with the Red Sox. But then you're right. You're right. There most likely is a bias that the gamblers have, a recency bias with the Marlins playing well. So I can see it from both sides of the coin. The Marlins are still the Marlins. They're 7 games under 500. But I understand it.
I had this closer at -140 personally for the Reds.
That's what I would have expected the line to be at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in the Marlins. Jose, touch on the under. It's a very difficult bet to make. Clearly, there's sharp action on it.
Yeah. And I'll just echo the market one time again. And let me refresh real quick. Because on my sheet, I have 58% of the bets on the under, 93% of the money on the over here. And, the market has not really moved much. I don't have my totals up for whatever reason. They're not coming up for me. But I just, can't trust Nick Martinez. But if the total is below like 9.5 at Great American Ballpark, it's typically for a reason. I think 8.5 is like the number, like you have to bet the under there. I forget again, Troy, if you're in the chat still, let us know. But if we get a smaller total at this ballpark, it's for a reason typically.
I still don't know if I can get to the under. I still don't know if I can. So BJ says anytime the Rockies, Marlins, A's have low prices should be a red flag. I get that. We got our guy Lucky Lefty, aka Sportsman of the Year in the house. Nick Martinez over 1.5 walks. And Troy Toyne says this is under a pass for me. Oh yeah. I would never. There's been a 5-cent move to the under from -105 to -110 at 9, with this being a very, very offensive situation. So the Marlins, I expect to make my card. I could understand the angle to get someone on the Reds. So, and we'll have to see. Perez has shown us no reason to believe in him on the road. And saying all that, I do think the market's pretty indicative with the 70% of the ticket, 75% of cash on the Reds, and the line moving towards the Marlins tells me the Marlins are live. At least the books believe that. We have Loshak on De La Cruz, home run, and Perez under 4.5 hits allowed. Jose on the Marlins plus 105. AM on the Reds. MLG Beavis on the Marlins and Stores over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And we roll on. Spooner has a question with Trey Turner, Raffy Devers home run parlay today. Always trying to get in your head. He's trying to get in your head.
Did you see that the DH for the Giants apparently was supposed to go like take ground balls with Will Clark at first base on his second day, and he didn't show up?
Oh God, are you serious?
That is the scuttlebutt going around.
TJ has Miami money line in his pocket since yesterday. Well, that should help the confidence in that direction. TJ, the main game that we've had Cowboys on either side of the fence, and I got cold feet and didn't bet it before coming to the show, was Mariners-Yankees. Did you move on Mariners-Yankees, TJ?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll on. Next up for us, 740, and Billy Friedrich says, don't piss off Will Clark. God, Will Clark was my top 3 players growing up, and I love when Jose Canseco called him a 3-toed sloth with no arms. It's one of baseball's greatest moments. 7:40 p.m. Eastern with Chicago Cubs 54-36, 24-20 on the road at the Minnesota Twins 43-47, 24-18 at home. Oh, Spreadsheet Dog is Miami, and Troy is talking about the sharp trap in the Yankees Mariners, I believe. Is that what you're talking about? Or are we talking about this Cubbies Twinkies spot?
Yeah, he said home team in a non-conference price between -130 and plus 120. Sorry, plus 130. Jesus. Total between 9.5 and 9.5. Line move to the home team and the over. Away team is 13-0 straight up and 11-2 on the run line. He's on Cubs first 5 and full game. Again, that is between -110 and plus 130. Total between 9.5. And the line moves to the home team and the over.
Well, this is a sharp trap. Yeah. No, well done. Thank you for that. That helps. We're at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's go over the weather here. Interesting. Cubbies first 5, full game. 82 Fahrenheit. Feels like 81. 8.9 miles per hour to right field. Dies down to 7.2 miles per hour. But it's offensive weather. We have Target Field plus 8% overall, plus 6% homers, plus 11% doubles and triples, and even singles. Mally Mal cashing the jam play of the day. Says only took Angel 3 quarters. I love it. Mally Mal, go get it. We have Shota Imanaga going up against Simeon Woods Richardson. Yeah, Clark, I was a huge fan of him all growing up.
And Rafael Devers couldn't give one fuck about him.
That is appalling. I mean, even if Will Clark says, "Hey, you want to meet for a coffee?"
Doesn't give a fuck. He let me. David Ortiz texted a guy for months, and Rafael Devers didn't respond to him. We don't give a fuck about Will Clark.
That is just bananas. But Shota Imanaga coming off allowing 3 earned runs. There were solo shots in the 5-4 win at home versus the Guardians. He did go 5 1/3. He's been fantastic on the road, unbelievable on the road, and just lights out. I mean, we're talking 5 starts. He's allowed 3 earned runs. Sure, Gorky, we'll hammer it once more, but sure, my man. But here we have a pitcher who's been simply dominant on the road and struggled at times at home. Then we have Simeon Woods Richardson, a very high ceiling for the young man, but he's not really found it. The last start was a nice move in the right direction. He stopped that Marlins huge winning streak with a 2-1 win. Went 5 innings, allowed 1 earned run, was a solo shot, 3 Ks, and 2 walks. At home this year, he's allowed 13 earned runs and 6 starts. I've lost money on him this year. Lefties rake against him. Righties, he shuts down. Lefties are hitting .303 with an .848 OPS here. And I already went through this. This is not the lineup. If lefties hurt you, this is not the lineup for you. Hap will hit from the left side. And then you have Kyle Tucker. You have PCA. You have Matt Bush. I mean, it's not good. But TJ has Minnesota plus 125 on his card. Wine Time Sports was trying to get there. Billy Friedrich says, I don't get the outs record, the outs line for Imanaga under for sure. I'd love if Pete would touch on that. Cubs versus righties last 30 days, 254, 799 OPS. Twins versus lefties, 248, 751. And when you want to find the biggest advantage in this baseball game, it's the Cubs bullpen. Last 30 days, 2.85 ERA, 1.18 whip. Compared to the Twins bullpen, 6.51 ERA, 1.81 whip. So let's take a look at this line history and cash flow and then hand it over to Jose. We have the total at 9 minus 118 to the over. This opened up minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 8.5 juice to the under in the afternoon. So this has moved heavily to the over. Here at this offshore, we see a 20-cent move towards the under. On the money line for this one, we have the Twins at plus 115. They opened up at 125, so we've had 10 cents of movement towards the Minnesota Twins. And then when we get to the cash flow, we have these in this interleague spot, 60% of tickets, 81% of the cash on the Cubs line, moving towards the Twins, 60% of tickets and 95% of cash on the over. Wow. Take it away, Jose Bouquet. This is a fascinating spot. We have cappers on either side of the fence here. Take it away.
Yeah, we have a lot of heavy hitters on this game. Troy calling sharp trap, saying this is a Cub spot. And our guy TJ pulls up saying this is a Minnesota Twins spot. Wine Time doesn't understand the line, and TJ and Wine joins TJ there. He's going to be on the Twins here, which I'm sure that's a stab in the back for Troy right there.
AM also on the Twins money line at plus 114 here. But Troy says this to you, Jose. He says, Jose, pull up Twins game log versus left-handed pitching. Tell me if you can find one quality lefty starter the Twins haven't gotten to. Oh, no, sorry. The Twins have gotten to. Excuse me.
Yeah, you won't find many. Scooble, 7 innings, 1 hit. Jose Quintana, 6 innings, 3 hits. No earned runs for both those, by the way, obviously. Nick Lodolo, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. The only one they've gotten to semi in the last few weeks is Andrew Abbott, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, but only 1 earned. So I honestly, I kind of tossed that one out the window. Brandon Walters, 6 2/3, 1 earned run. Colton Gordon, 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Patrick Corbin's 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Bubit, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Noah Cameron, 6 2/3, 1 earned run. The last lefty they really got to is Cade Povich, 6 innings, 5 earned runs, and Logan Allen, 3 innings, 2 earned runs. Other than that, they've really not had any success against anyone. Kikuchi in the 4th, January, February, March, April. In April. So I'll be honest, this is just a very much an X's and O's versus market spot where I stay off and I watch these two heavy hitters go at it here. These 3, I guess. All you guys on there.
Spooner on the Cubs. Oldie on the Cubs -1.
It seemed, if I had to pick a side on this one, it'd be Cubs for me. And that is going against all of my market intuitions there. So I'm off. I don't trust the Twins. I'd like Imanaga to dominate the Twins lineup here. My main concern is this is a low scoring ball game here that the Cubs or the Twins somehow find a way to eke out here. So I'd probably lean under here as well, but nothing here for me.
Wow, I get it, man. I got to stay out of the fire. And this one, Scott heavy on the Cubs and the Cubs team total over. Ooh-wee. Peter Loshak, can you break this tug of war?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to take a couple of Cubs props against Woods Richardson, not necessarily because I don't like him, but, he's a little shaky, and I'll be taking Bush and Crow Armstrong, hits, runs, and RBIs props. And then, for Imanaga, what is this weird home road? I mean, his last start against Cleveland was that. I know there were a lot of recent games at Wrigley where it was big hitting weather. I can't remember if that was one of them or not. Last Wednesday, but I don't quite understand the small sample size extreme home road split for Imanaga. Right? I mean, what is what's Ballpark Pal saying about this stadium tonight?
Plus 8% overall, plus 6% homers, plus 11% doubles and triples, even singles.
Yeah. I'll also mention that the teams he's faced, I mean, Texas early on in the season were better offensively. The Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they faced them already. That first start isn't even a home start. That was a Korea start or Japan start, wherever they played this year. And then Cleveland, I think that's not a horrible start, just a little bad luck with those homers.
But you want the weather in Cleveland 6 days ago?
The weather's Chicago. I bet say I knew.
Chicago. I have that right here. So that was
I know it.
July 2nd.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't close his notes, Pete. So those notes were just readily available.
Yeah.
85 Fahrenheit, feels like 89, 4.5 miles per hour right to left.
So. Yeah, all right. So yeah, it was a hot day at Wrigley, but not one of the crazy ones where the wind was blowing out. Yeah. I would love to take a shot with like one of these Twins hitters to hit a home run, maybe Castro, Buxton. That's about it. But I'll definitely take Crow, Armstrong, and Bush, hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll definitely take that. Yeah, I'm not exactly. I mean, obviously, Imanaga is a top-notch pitcher, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time figuring out what to expect from him specifically in certain situations.
AM says classic letdown spot here. Cubs first game after smashing divisional rival Cardinals. TJ says analytically Imanaga equals Sugano. Sugano has taken so much money from me and my family.
I hope by the way, Jimmy, you showed Ella the video of Yusei Kikuchi just fucking taking a tumble. I think it was like the first pitch of the game. They hit like a comeback to him and he just comic, like cartoonish fall. His glove fucking almost ends up on the other side of the field. It's quite hilarious, honestly.
I have not. I only show her Kikuchi shoving.
Well, I hope she watches the All-Star game.
Yeah, no, that's a great call. God, he's been fucking awesome. He's been awesome. All right, well,
you think Imanaga's going to come in here and give another fucking 5-6 inning 1-2 hit 0 or 1 run performance?
Not at all. No.
I think he dominates personally.
Yeah.
Why?
Because of what Troy Torrance said. Show me a quality, which he's definitely a quality lefty. Show me a quality lefty that Minnesota has hit this year.
Yeah, they haven't hit any lefties this year that are as good as Imanaga, and even the ones that are worse than obviously than Imanaga, they've barely had any success with.
Because the over seems like the bet here. Right now, that over, I mean, it's just been a real legit move towards it. And, you have 60% of tickets, 95% of the cash in the market moving fast because of it.
If I'm gonna believe Troy Torrance here and the sharp trap, I just have to kind of eliminate the market in my head in this game, and to say the same thing with the total here as well. I can't look at the market. I just have to go up against the market. And if I'm going up against the market, I'm not going up against it. I'm not betting anything. But if I were, if I was going up against the market in the money line situation, I would definitely go up against it in the total, and I'd bet under.
Oh, man. Billy Friedrich says the amount of daily clubs slobbering in the chat is sickening. It's a nice touch. Slobbering and sickening. You get the alliteration. It's excellent work. Excellent work here. Truth Teller making the move to play poker in Vegas, which is so exciting. So exciting, Truth Teller. Looking for anyone who can help with the living situation. Truth Teller, stay in touch with us. He's got a motel booked in Carson City. And he's got to look for a room after that. Exciting, Truth Teller. Very, very, very exciting, my man.
Wait, what's he doing? He's moving
to Vegas to play poker, man.
And he's going to leave on December 31st, 2025, right?
No,
he's leaving right soon, very soon.
You guys know about the gambling law, right?
Yeah. They passed the law. Well, Jimmy wouldn't know. He doesn't live here, obviously. But
it screws lots of people, but poker players, I mean, forget about it.
Yeah, you have to pay like a percentage of taxes on your losing, even if you lose. Like it's nuts. Yeah.
No, Truth. I mean, good luck until December 31st. I wish you the best of luck, but in 2026, that's not possible, right?
It's going to be very difficult, and I already saw that the congresswoman from Nevada is trying to, get that shit fixed, but we'll see.
You guys, Truth, do you not know that law? Are you in for a change of plans in your life, Truth?
Truth, yeah. Just go look up gambling law, big beautiful bill, where the fuck you're going to be pissed.
Yeah, you'll have to research that, but I wish you the best of luck until December 31st, 2025. Sincerely.
That's 5 strong months.
Yeah.
Then he can move to Biloxi, right? Is that the next step?
No.
Unfortunately, Canada. You could renounce your citizenship.
Hey, Venezuela will take you.
All right, let's roll on the. So, Peter, can you give me one last thing on this total here in Cubs Twins? The market's screaming. The big bet's flying in on the over, and
They are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I like the over, then I would be betting on Imanaga to get touched. I mean, I would assume that if you like Minnesota, you like. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming if you think that that Imanaga is going to come in here and do to Minnesota what every other quality lefty has done to them, then you would like the over. I don't think that Woods. I think Wood Richardson will give up something, but I don't think he's going to get crushed. And if he doesn't get crushed and Imanaga is close to lights out again, I'm not sure where the over's coming from, but I'm just going to take the two props for the Cubs, and that's it.
I lean that way with you, Pete. By the way, Timmy Two Shoes saying, "Woo, underground poker rooms are back on the menu, boys."
Oh man, yeah. The Chinatown off track in Toronto. You just got to just step foot in it. Just see the. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything dirtier, grimier. Nobody under 75, and it's magic. Let's roll. I have moved on overs in the next game. Jose Bouquet, and not just one.
Oh,
I have doubled up on overs in Dodgers Brewers. Now this line has moved back a little bit towards the under, so I'm not sitting here, extremely confident. But these are the spots that I look to attack. When you have two pitchers with really good numbers, and yet the line moving towards the over. I find it very appealing here. I think that that Jacob Mizorowski's not going to have a bounce back performance here, and I really Boss 707 saying Brewers number 1 versus lefties. They're smashing them. 290, 808 OPS. The Dodgers bullpen's been a train wreck. 5.54 ERA, 1.46 WHIP last 30 days. And they'll fix it at the trade deadline, but we got 2 weeks till then. Now, Clayton Kershaw's been very good on the road here through 4 starts. And, maybe he's real comfortable here, after, getting 3,000 strikeouts and getting that off. But this was a spot where I was screaming and attacking the over. Now, Jacob Mizorowski, so far in his very short career, has barely allowed a righty to touch him. Even coming off of a bad start, he's barely allowed a righty to touch him. But lefties have an 868 OPS against them. This is not the lineup for you. Now, there's not a lot of lefties. Of course, you have Ohtani and Freeman, though. Conforto, you have Edman hitting from the left side, we expect. So this is a spot where I was all over the over. I wanted it badly. I took the first half. Now, I did pay for the 4 for the first half. First 5. So I did pay for the 4. I'm not sure if that's what I should have done. You could have got plus 105 or plus 107 on the 4.5, and I just wanted the 4. And so I maybe that's a bad sign that's what I wanted, but that's what I wanted. And I have the over 8.5. I'll pull up exactly what I got, what line here in a second. But that's my action. This over 8.5 opened up at plus 102 to the over. It's now minus 108. So there's been 10 cents of movement. There had been 20. So that's not great. From a money line standpoint here, we have the Brew Crew at plus 104. They open up at plus 101. The Dodgers gone from minus 111 to minus 113. Nothing I'm concerned about. But I don't know if I think they're both vulnerable. 56% of the tickets are on the under and 75% of the cash on the over. It tells me that sharps are seeing the same thing as me. 65% of the tickets on the Dodgers, 80% of the cash on the Brewers. I don't need to get involved there. I'm just focusing on the total. Ronnie Lofton taking a very close look on the total as well. And TJ says over spot, tuned in for the 3 games I have the most action on. I love it here. And Spooner says Dodgers money line on my card. Mizorowski's a great young pitcher. He can dominate weak lineups without good lefties. Good luck with the Dodgers today, kid. I agree with that. But I don't know if I have enough here. To back Kershaw and the Dodgers with their bullpen. And, the only team I have futures on are the Brewers. Maybe that gets in my way. I'm very comfortable with just the first half or first 5 over and the full game over. My man Kong's Clip says, I'll tweet it out if I get there, but he's looking at Ray 6 or more Ks and San Francisco Giants money line. TJ says open at 8, which he bet it again at 8 at even money. Nice job. I did miss that. Now, it did open at 8 earlier in the afternoon yesterday, but it was just 8.5 here at this offshore by 7 o'clock at night. I'm very comfortable with. Look, I'd much rather have the 8, but I don't know. I need the market to give me an indication that this is what I should bet, and that does affect the lines I get. Whereas TJ has his model, push him in the direction, and he will beat lines, and that's the reason why they build their models. Jose Bouquet, take it away. We have the Brew Crew hosting the flailing LA Dodgers.
I'm just gonna tail in solidarity here with you, Jimmy. This is a solidarity bet. I'll take the over 8.5 minus 115. I like Mizorowski. It makes me laugh. Spoon hates how much he hates them. I think there might be Brewers Cubs little thing there, but I respect it, and I'm gonna be on the over. Clayton Kershaw, I think after that, and took him a long ass fucking time to get that strikeout. We talked about that K prop that day being 4.5, and it was like, okay, we'll see, because everyone's gonna bet this over. But congrats. I still think he's a little bit washed up though. So over 8.5 minus 115 for me. Joining you, Jimmy.
I like it. Robert Franklin says rinse and repeat Brewers money line. Redbeard just cashed that live fourth quarter over 39.5. Great job, Redbeard, my man. Peter Loshak, your thoughts on this spot? The Brew Crew hosting the Dodgers.
Well, I did cash with Mizorowski in his first 3 great starts. People are saying that he only does that against weak lineups, and that he's a bit. So they're thinking that he comes back down to earth here, because I was thinking that at the very least, Milwaukee first 3 plus a half run is worth a thought. Maybe under 3.5 hits, but people aren't sold on him, huh? I know the Dodgers have appears. I'm sorry. I'm
not sold on Mizorowski at all. I feel like I watched this story. Now, not as phenomenal as Mizorowski was in his first. I mean, no, we've never seen anything that phenomenal. But I feel like I've seen this. The guy is very, very good. He finally gets touched. He understands what it's like to get touched, and he can't get that out of his head in the next start because he's such a young pitcher and he gets touched again. But again, that's what's what I'm betting on. And also though, the splits are extreme as you'll ever see in your life. And again, the sample size is not right. But righties, Peter, are hitting 0.57 with a 165 OPS. Lefties have an 868 OPS. And Ohtani and Freeman are a couple of fucking lefties, man.
By the way, Kong's doing a great job breaking down this new law right now. Jesus, look, Kong's doing such a great job. I didn't know how the math worked out, but that's very fascinating.
No, the law is if you lose, it doesn't affect you. If you break even, you're paying a lot of taxes. If you lose a little bit, you're paying taxes. If you win a little bit, you're paying a lot of taxes. Unless you're bet like if you bet big parlay, if you bet like a $10 parlay, and you win 100,000 off of that, you won't pay a lot of taxes. But if you're grinding it out, you break even, you make a little or lose a little, big tax bill.
Yeah, I said if you wager, if you bet 100, you make 100. You're paying $10 in taxes.
Which is why it's going to completely screw poker, because it's literally impossible to make money in poker without betting a lot. So it's
very interesting.
TJ expects both these pitchers to get touched. So do I here. So do I. I think this is a great spot. Now, I would have liked the line to have continued to move towards the over. But again, you look at these two pitchers, this is, you guys know, when there's pitchers with pedestrian numbers in a situation where the market's moving towards the under. Worse, like bad numbers. Market's moving towards the under, and the weather is helpful. My ROI is disgusting on first 3 unders. And here, it's sort of similar, and I don't bet a lot of them, but when you have pitchers with very strong numbers, and the sample size is very small, and there's biases involved, I love to bet overs. And that's what I'm doing here,
right.
Peter. Are you
right. I meant to say if you lose a lot, you don't have to pay taxes. If you lose a little, yes, you still have to pay taxes. And people are talking about want to use offshore and this and that. We're talking about Truth Teller moving to Vegas to play poker in Vegas. And there's no way around that because they report it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And yeah, and TJ is right in the sense that offshores are just going to get inundated with people coming over now at the end of the year or at the end of this year. Just people are going to be like, why would I go have to pay the taxes when I can just go to an offshore or whatever the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So for sports gambling. So I'll be very
yeah, of course there's ways around it, but there's no way around I'm going to move to Vegas and play poker. That is like you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, poker players are the ones getting fucked the most.
Yeah.
And I don't and you know, obviously like and I don't know why we're talking, you know, it's obviously going to affect us gamblers. It's kind of political, but like they're trying to get a change, but like FanDuel, DraftKings, and all those guys are getting taxed out the fucking ass, and they're not going to go against this law because I'm sure they're like, okay, well, we're not going to say anything, but just stop raising our taxes at such tremendous rates. Like, you know, Chicago or Illinois is like a 50-cent tax per bet or whatever the fuck it is. So I'm fascinated to see how that all works.
Well, fellas, I doubled up on overs. Jose has joined me on the full game over. And I did. Now I remember exactly what I got. Sorry, I didn't even look it up. But I it was minus 115 sending it in. It was minus 114 liquid, and I just sent it in at minus 115. So I could have got a better line of the head I have waited. So we have moved back, but I'm ready. I'm ready to fight.
Maybe this is my time to become a local. This is my hour. I just need to become a shining light, even though I don't have the money to.
You know, you tell tremendous tales, Jose.
I'm not very intimidating either. Like if someone stiffs me for money, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Oh, Redbeard, I know exactly.
You're gonna send me over
what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm sending Pete over, Jimmy. Is that what I'm doing?
And I'm gonna do a grandma from Rounders impression on their ass, and then see what they think about paying you what they owe you.
Okay, fair enough.
I like it. But you could just get Helga to be the tough guy.
Me and Helga are gonna double team and go in there and collect from him.
I'm getting double teamed by Pete. That's what I heard.
Or should I say psycho cop? Me and Helga. Yeah, they'll pay.
I like it. We have a famous movie. I've never seen it.
It's Psycho Cop. That's what you're dealing with.
One of the most famous movies that's been made up here the last 10 years, of which I don't know anyone who's ever seen, but it's usually is Good Cop, Bond Cop.
Oh, yes. My favorites. Yes. I remember the poster. Of course. Good Cop, Bond Cop.
Okay, let's get to work.
Of course. I need to watch that.
No, Lamont, I don't. Oh, Sonny Gray over K. Sorry, Lamont. Thank you. Lamont Williams, max bet Gray over 5.5 Ks. Thank you, Lamont. Our guy, Lamont Williams, must know information. Lamont's max bet being that way since 2017 when I started rocking with him. But Lamont was rocking with Peter before I got involved.
Yeah,
Lamont,
shout out Lamont.
He's the real deal, man. Okay, guys, I'm not sure if that's what Peter meant. Let's
roll. A little double entendre, Jimmy the Bag. Jose's not the only one with comments. Right? Okay, Jose Bouquet.
Check one for Pete. Put him on the board.
I got ChatGPT here on my phone. I can do that shit too. Jose.
Oh man, you know Peter. She's always watching.
Oh yeah, she is. She's not. She doesn't have summer school anymore, so she's
watching.
Yeah, she's watching.
Next up, we have at 7:40 p.m. Eastern, the Pittsburgh Pirates and Kansas City Royals, which brings us to a very important bet on our show, Ronnie Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here we go. Now, Mitch Keller, Jose, is expected to be wearing Toronto Blue Jay colors here in a couple of weeks. The idea is that you will see this same pitcher hearing no evil in the in the Toronto Blue Jays jersey.
I'm definitely not seeing any evil.
Hear no evil, see no evil. Yeah.
She definitely doesn't see it either.
Pirates, Kansas City Royals, where Kauffman stayed in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, this might be a spot where I get nervous here.
Jimmy, did the guy you guys said make the All-Star team? Did he make it?
No. I think the 4 home runs might have hurt him.
Okay. I forgot who it was already.
Ernie Clement.
Yeah, fucking that guy gonna make the fucking All-Star game.
Yeah, man. Hey, he's hitting 298. Got 900 OPS for lefties.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Hey, watch it. We're big Ernie Clement fans up here.
Yeah, first place Blue Jays.
I've doubled up on this, and I'm nervous to look at the lines. I'm on the first 3 under and the full game under here in Pirates, Royals. I would like to go right into the line just so I know whether I should be comfortable or not. These first 3, some of them have moved 25 cents on me when I decide I want it to the time I bet it after the show. And I was like, you know what, just move on them. So far, the Royals open up minus 135. They're now minus 130. A very slight move, plus 122 to plus 120 on the Pirates. So very slight move on them. Come on, show me 7.5 across the board. Not quite, no. Here we have an under 8.5 at minus 115. I don't like that. Under 8 flat at minus 115. There's still been 16 cents of movement towards this, but this had spent many, I guess it wasn't that long. It moved to 7.5 at 11:22 a.m. and stayed there until 12:40 when it came back to 8, but still a 15-cent move to the under. I got, if I hadn't moved on this, I would have been a little uncomfortable with the price of the first 3. I would have wanted it maybe 5 cents, 10 cents more expensive. I got the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 130. And let's see what it is right now. The first 3 under 2.5. I'd sure like to see 135. Yes, 135. So it's moved 5 cents. Okay. That makes me feel better here. AM says 12 and 33 Pirates road record, only slight dogs here. Give me the Pirates. Jermaine saying still 7.5 on DraftKings. Yes, I see some 7.5. I was just hoping it'd be across the board. Nate Dogg, by the way, weighing in on that Mariners-Yankees debate. He's on the Mariners money line. Topset says fishy line tells me Pittsburgh. So I like all of this here. I like all of this because I need Mitch Keller to pitch well here because Seth Lugo is pitching well. We've talked about the line history. Let's get into the cash flow. Then we're going to get into weather, and then we'll set up the statistics and hand it over to Jose. So cash flow for this interleague matchup between Keller and Lugo. You have 86% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. Now, there's been big bets that have come in on the over in this, and that's with that move. Oh, okay. So now some less. So that's just gone down. But 85% of the tickets are on the under, and 55% of the cash is on the over. That just said 62. So that's gone down a little bit, which makes me feel okay. Vincent Hawkins says Lugo deals tonight. Pittsburgh will get shut out. Nate Cerna on the Nerfy here. Wager Detective says Royals 11-4 last 15 versus the Pirates at home. So let's touch on the weather here. We have I moved down to the Royals here. 87 Fahrenheit. We have possible drizzle early. Then it goes away. 87 Fahrenheit. Feels like 93. 3.6 miles per hour and stays at 3.6 miles per hour. Oh, wow. Lamont hitting a 17 parlay off of Peter Leans. And AM just added the Pirates money line plus 120. That was something that was the first most interesting thing about Peter when I learned, really early in our relationship how your leans were hitting at a much higher level than the bets. And then you had so many people just tailing the leans.
What was the first most interesting thing you learned about me? Was it the circumcisions?
That I live in a treehouse.
That was an interesting thing I learned about Peter at the treehouse. Yes. Jose, that's a good question. My sloppy tits? No, the lack of. Maybe the lack of. I thought they were going to be much sloppier. I'll think about my bulbous pussy lips. You knew about that coming into it. Sadly, I'd heard rumors. Sadly. Yes.
Pirates Royals here. We have the Pirates who, again, as AM was talking about, 12-33 on the road. It's a nice price to get on them. Jermaine saying Mitch Keller is in a nice groove. 5 runs last 24 innings. Billy Friedrich says Pirates 5-13 in Keller starts this season. We've talked a lot about that this year because I've continued to back him, and thankfully. But he is 3-10 this year. 3.64 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. He's a pitcher that I believe in here. I really do. And he's coming off a great start at home. Now, will he continue it on the road? That is the issue. He's allowed just 13 earned runs in 6 starts on the road. He's been better on the road this season than at home, but he's coming off a beautiful home start. Will he continue that here on the road where opponents are hitting 204 against him? He's only allowed 1 home run all year on the road. His splits are fine. Righties don't touch him. It is lefties that do. 278, 762 OPS. And then the question, of course, that we must ask right after that is, who are the lefties in this lineup that, concern us the most? Let's get over here. And they are impossible. I mean, Pasquantino is a great lefty, and they have Caglione. So they have Jack, and they have Pasquantino, and then they have Isbell turning the lineup over. But we've talked about this. If lefties is your kryptonite, this is one of the teams that you really want to play. Neither team's hitting right now. But let's go into Seth Lugo, 6-5, 2.65 ERA, 1.09 WHIP. He's been very good of late, coming off a 3-2 win at the Mariners. We know that's a pitcher's ballpark. He went 6 1/3, allowed a solo shot. At home this year, he's been excellent. 14 earned runs over 9 starts. And he has similar splits to Keller, where righties get completely shut down and lefties hit him. Again, Reynolds hit from the left side, and you have O'Neill Cruz to deal with. And then you have Horwitz leading off, but that's it. The more I talk about this game, the more I like my action. Both teams aren't hitting, as I said. Pirates 240, 630 last 30 days. Royals 222, 654. Both bullpens have been good, especially the Pirates bullpen, who's been the best in baseball the last 30 days. 2.54 ERA, 1.04 WHIP. And then the Royals bullpen 3.99 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. So this was a double up spot for me. First 3 under, full game under. But I can understand interest in the Pirates, and maybe I'm developing it myself. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, Pirates for me, plus 122. I'm going to continue to see and hear no evil with Mitch Keller. I think he has his best start of the season here against a really bad Royals offense. I was like, is he going to complete? But I don't think the Pirates would even do that. They had 7 strong innings and turn it over to his bullpen. But yeah, Pirates for me. I saw a good stat from Ron Crawford. He just put in there as well. He said Royals are 1-12 their last 12, or 1-11, last 12 as their home favorites. So that's very crazy. Billy Friedrich on the opposite side. Pirates are 1-5, and then Keller's road starts this year. They won his first road start of his season in Miami. So that's very fascinating. Let's see if we'll get 2 here. But I am indeed on the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 122. Market just says so.
I fear Lugo. Seth Lugo's not a lefty. I fear Lugo. Of course, yeah. Why did I say Keller? But no, these are 2 righties. I fear Lugo, and that's why I wasn't on the Pirates, why I'm not on the Pirates, but I can see the appeal of it. Do I want to add a 3rd unit when I really like my action? Take it away, Peter, my man.
I don't quite understand why Lugo isn't getting a little bit more respect on the market. I did hit his 2.5 earned runs prop, minus 160, but that might have been a mistake. I know he's only on, 4 days rest here. But Pittsburgh, is there some reason to believe that Pittsburgh is going to turn it around offensively right here against Lugo?
I mean, that's my issue here, and I'm getting cold. I don't know if I need to add a 3rd unit. I just like where I stand. I don't see why there would be, Peter.
I mean, he can, get touched a little bit at home here and there. Just not sure. I know that Pittsburgh was overachieving offensively a bit recently, so they have it in them to have a nice, offensive day here and there. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna pass. Normally it would be an auto bet for me or as an official play, but
auto bet being what?
Lugo under 2.5 earned runs.
Because you feel like this line is fishy?
It just statistically, I'm not understanding why, a lot of the pitchers, have these old 1.5 earned run lines. This feels like it should obviously be one of those.
I don't. By the way, Seth Lugo, another pitcher that will not be on this team in a few weeks.
Mitch Keller is highly sought after right now.
Which is crazy.
Why is that crazy? I've always liked him. I always thought he was good.
He's not that good.
I mean,
we'll see what happens when he gets in Toronto. I mean, he's better than fucking Bowden France.
It's very possible that Keller is too expensive. There are many teams talking about Keller right now. So the story that we've been told is we may decide instead to take Heaney, even though he's not looked very good of late, but that Heaney would be that cheap option here. So
yeah, I'd like to see you guys take both.
And see Troy and Saturated saying the Cubs are going after him. We're going after him too.
God, it'd be horrible. Go get the Cubs. Go get Sandy Alcantara. Fucking pay up.
We're going after Mitch Keller because it's not just Keller that's available here. There's the Pirates are huge sell mode, of course. So
anyone interested in Michael Lorenzen?
Well, I personally do for the diamond I have in the backyard. But
I will add on Pasquantino 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Not a big price for that. I'll shop around a little bit. Yeah.
Over 1.5 hits, runs. Yeah. I clearly agree with you guys that it feels like that's the sharp side to take the Pirates. I just don't know if I need to. I don't know. I don't know if I need. At this point, I don't know if I need to add it. But clearly, I might get there again. I mean, like looking at the amount of money that's on the Royals here, it's just I really like where I stand. Do I want to mess with it? I don't know. I don't feel like I want to mess with it, but I'm interested. But first 300 full game under for me, we have Peter on Pasquantino and Jose on the Pirates. Let's roll on. I don't. Vince Hawkins says Paul Skeens should be available. I don't know if anybody has. How many teams have enough to trade for him?
This guy right here does. But they won't. And he's not going to be available until he hits arbitration. So give it like 2 more years.
And JW on the Royals again. Gorky saying our man Dabby and his family are safe. Yes, it wasn't. It was much closer to Jose. It was 60 miles from San Antonio. It was not close to
about an hour.
Dallas. Yeah. So yes, scary situation. Jose, you're so close to it. Do you want to touch on it before we move on to Blue Jays White Sox? Because people have been asking about it.
Yeah. Flood has killed, I think it's like 100 people at this point. It's been raining like hell, and Kerrville is built on a river, and San Antonio as a whole and the surrounding areas, it's called the Hill Country. So it's kind of like in like a bowl almost. So this part of Texas is very prone to flooding. And yeah, it's a shitty situation that, it was like 20 minutes and that river like overflowed like that. You guys can go watch the time lapse of it. Crazy stuff. Very sad. Hopefully Texas and the people in charge of Texas get their shit together and send the aid and all that bullshit. But yeah, very sad.
Yeah. Our thoughts go to everybody as man. Yeah,
it's affected the people across the sports world, like the Chiefs owner, Lamar Hunt, whatever his name is. One of his like granddaughters was killed in the flood. Like it's killed offensive coordinators for local universities here, soccer coaches. So it's a big deal. So if you can help out in any way you can, financially, T's and P's, whatever you can do, send them down here to old South Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just heartbreaking and sad and horrific. All right, let's roll on to our next spot. But our thoughts and prayers are with Kerrville and anyone being affected by it. 7:40 p.m. Eastern, we have the Toronto Blue Jays 53-38, 21-22 on the road at Chicago White Sox 30-61, 19-25 at home rate field in Chicago, Illinois. The fading teams on 7-game winning streak, it's now lost 6 in a row. And you know who I thought about was JW. I was like, I know that JW would be like, how could you possibly bet against your Jays on an 8-game win streak? Like he was, even though I wasn't part of it, didn't gamble them yesterday.
The best stretch of Blue Jay baseball in 10 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're playing very, very well. We have Chris Bassett going up against Aaron Savali. And I don't know what to do with Bassett. I haven't known what to do with him this year. Even when he had this great start, I was like, I don't believe it. Now he's struggling, and I am lost with him. But you know me. I've been an Aaron Savali backer. I can't explain why, but for years.
He's going to be in Korea next year, and Jimmy's going to just still be backing him over there.
Let's go for it's only at home. He's only had one start at home, and he was great in that one start against the Giants. He's only had one start at home as a White Sox. Let's go over the weather here and then the line history and set this up. Vincent Hawkins on Blue Jays team total over. Spooner says future KBO minor league player of the month in Aaron Savali. Let's get into the weather here. Rate Field, south side of Chicago. We have 84 Fahrenheit, feels like 87, 7.2 miles per hour right to left. And then it's an interesting thing that needs to be thought about if you're moving live on this game or whatever. But after 2 hours, it's blowing out to left field. And it's still hot and some drizzle comes in, but it does become much more offensive condition-wise after 2 hours, so late in this baseball game. We have plus 6% overall at Rate Field, plus 18% overall, plus 18% home runs, minus 7% doubles and triples, and even singles, but plus 6% overall. Let's get into the line history here for Blue Jays, White Sox. These Blue Jays are minus 184. They opened up minus 167, now minus 186, so 19 cents of movement towards the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's get to the total here for this one. This total is sitting at a 9. It's minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 8.5, minus 115 to the over. That was at 7:12 p.m. It became a sort of a 9, not quite a 9, around 1 in the morning, between like 1 and 5 in the morning, dropped back to 8.5. But then it became a real 9 at 8 in the morning. A real 9. You even had to pay a tiny bit of juice on the over 9. That was around 9:48 in the morning. We're back there. This is a real 9. It's plus 102 to the over and minus 114 to the under. So it's gone up maybe a little over a quarter of a run. From a money line perspective here, we did that huge move towards the Blue Jays. And then cash flow for this American League spot. We have 64% of the tickets on the Jays and 88% of the cash, 52% of the tickets on the over and 83% of the cash here. I did miss that. Savali going to Korea. Well, before he goes to Korea, I'm interested in betting on him. Now, you would have to take the first 3 plus a half, and you'd probably want to wait as this line moves over closer towards the Blue Jays. The White Sox first 3 cashed yesterday. The full game certainly didn't. Savali, 4.60 ERA, 1.49 whip. He's allowed 8 home runs in 43 innings, but he's looked much better in a White Sox uniform. And he looked great at the Dodgers in that 6-2 loss. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. Lefties hit him hard, 257, 868. So do righties, 284, 804. Jays are hitting 274 with a 794 OPS versus righties last 30 days. White Sox versus righties, 208, 604. And then the White Sox do have a bullpen advantage, 3.36 ERA, 1.33 whip. Remember that all the good pieces of this White Sox bullpen will be traded the next 2 weeks. So if you do trust this bullpen, it's, trust them now. Don't trust them later. Scott took the team total over at 3.5 here for the Blue Jays. I wonder what the VIG would have been on that one here. The over 3.5. But I get it though. I get the look. So take it away for us, Jose Bouquet, Jays White Sox. Oh, sorry for the Cubs. Okay, my bad. Thank you for letting me know. Take it away for us here, Jose, Jays White Sox.
Yeah, it's White Sox or nothing for me, and it'll be nothing. I stay off here. Jimmy, the franchise record, as Bo Jackson put in the chat, wins is 11. Do the Blue Jays tie that record?
Everybody around here certainly thinks so. It's again, like you said, we have not been in this situation. Those runs we had in 2016, 2017 were post trade deadline. So again, back to 92 since we've been this good in the first half of the season, and I certainly didn't believe so. And the only person who I know that thought this was in the cards was Wine Time Sports. So
I bet he's slapping his own ass with his glee. plus 700s.
That doesn't happen as often as you think. Jose, I don't even know if we have the clip here to show you. I don't think we do.
You'll see that StreamYard is updated, so you can, the big eyes are, making it easier for you.
No, I need to get these fixed. But here, one last thing: the White Sox plus 165 at Bet365 money line, plus 150 first five, but the first 3 plus a half is still too expensive. And just to let you guys know what it is, the first 3 plus a half for the White Sox, minus 130. Maybe that could get to minus 125 if we keep waiting. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I just, it seems like I think Savali can get together here and pitch well. And I kind of am interested to see what the Blue Jays can continue to do here, if this hot streak will last, if George Springer will continue being the reincarnation of Vernon Wells. But I ultimately just stay off. I lean White Sox. I'm curious what the mirror on the wall has to say, Pete.
Well, first of all, yeah, I will definitely take Talkman, the leadoff guy for the White Sox. Hits, runs, and RBIs 1.5. Maybe Benintendi RBI at a big dog line, and then it seems like Toronto should get to Savali a decent amount. Not getting crushed, but he's definitely not inspiring. And they hit him 3 starts ago or whatever that was. So it seems like a whole bunch of Blue Jays should have another big day today. But that's just the first glance obvious way of looking at this. I'll definitely take Talkman, the leadoff guy for the White Sox, though.
Yeah,
you guys think Savali? You guys think Savali's going to hold down Toronto here?
I don't think he makes it through 6 innings, so I don't think he can get to a quality start. But 5 innings and 3 earned runs. I don't know. The Jays are just rolling right now. They've built. It's just Lucas batting leadoff. I mean, this was a guy who's played in the minors for so long and couldn't catch on. And Clement the same way. You have Miles Straw comes in as a defensive replacement. You have Clement hitting 900 OPS against lefties. I mean, you can keep him out of line against righties. You're able to fill every single spot here, and it's a fun team to manage right now, Pete. So
yeah, I'm still looking at this Lugo start a little bit, but.
And then AM says, doesn't seem like Jays should be minus 230 here. It sort of does. TJ says Jays minus 1.5. If you like that sort of thing, Miles Jays by 2.5, which is massive for his model. Wow. And let's just take a second for our friend Aaron here. He said the flood came faster than you could move out of the way. He said even around my neighborhood over 40 miles north of the camp, roads are destroyed and the river still overflowed. Not a whole lot you can do except figure out how you can help your neighbor or your family. And man, Aaron, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And our prayers are with you and everybody in that area. And we'll figure out how we can help. Especially because we're a Texas company. So we'll figure out. And sorry, and thoughts are with you, man. Troy Torrance says minus 230 road favorites are rare. They are. I guess I don't. This has to be Jays or nothing now, right? Doesn't it? So. Anything else you want to add to this, Peter, before we move on to the next game? Because I
definitely add Talkman hits, runs, RBIs. Probably add Benintendi RBI at a dog line, and then through the rest of the segments of this show, I'll be looking at if there's any Blue Jay props that I want to add. But as of right now, no. But I'm probably going to add something. And
it is confirmed that this is the last 2 weeks for Talkman in the White Sox uniform. He's such a vet. And now that he's hitting leadoff, like he's a bat for the bench, and a lot of teams are supposedly inquiring, trying to give up as little as possible. We got JR Swish in the house. He's looking at it over 8.5. And Troy Torrance's home teams perform well in this spot, especially or only out of division, which works here. Okay, so let's roll on. I nothing from me. Loshak with Tauchman and looking for more possible Benintendi RBI spot. And let's Okay, how about this? Before we move past this, Peter, what's your expectation of Bassett in this start? Because if Bassett is somewhat vulnerable, if Bassett can give up a couple runs, I can cash the first 3+1/2. Do you believe Bassett's going to shove here?
But I think he, should be vulnerable in general, sort of the same as he. Yeah, I think they can get to him. I'm not high on Bassett here particularly.
And that Chicago, Minnesota total moving to 9.5. Now, if I can still get a 9, I'm interested in moving on it, TJ. And I guess I do have a little bit of interest in the White Sox first 3. I just +0.5, but I hate having to pay for it. And Vincent Hawkins saying the over is the play. All right, let's roll on. Jermaine looking at the Sox +2.5. Let's roll on. Next up and Jose, is there anything you wanted to add to the Blue Jays White Sox breakdown?
Nope, we're good.
7:45 p.m. Eastern, the next spot on the board. Washington Nationals 37-53, 19-25 on the road at the St. Louis Cardinals 48-43, 26-17 at home. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's talk about the weather here in St. Louis. We have, let's go up. What the hell is it? My apologies. The weather here is rain throughout. The game is going to be pushed back for sure. Is that going to be enough to have this one played? Let's start there, decide how much time and energy you put into it. Peter, do you expect this game to play?
Let me see. Washington, St. Louis. Yeah, I think it will, actually. I do. Last I checked.
And our
probably a delay, but I do think so.
I do think it's going to be delayed. Pig milk play days back, baby. Cantillo under 14.5 outs at +105. I love it. And that'll be our next game. That's, of course, Guardians, Astros. I don't see. I like that. I don't expect him to go. I mean, he's just not stretched out. So I like it. Justin McKelvey got the Cardinals -1.5 at +112 in his pocket. So an expectation that this game will be pushed back and then it will go. So Busch Stadium, according to Ballpark Pal, -6% overall, -1% homers, -9% doubles and triples, and +1% singles. We have Jake Irvin and Sonny Gray battling here. So let's talk about the line history. We have the St. Louis Cardinals -212. They opened up at -169. Wow. 43 cents of movement there. That is a lot. Let's get to this total. A big move towards the Cardinals. This total is an 8. Opened up at 9. It wasn't a real 9. It was +105 to the over, -118 to the under. So, but the 9 that opened in the afternoon was just even +100 to the over, -120 to the under. And now we have an 8. So just a monstrous move towards the under. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot. We have 68% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on the St. Louis Cardinals. You have 60% of tickets on the under, 77% cash on the over. God, you'd hate to have money on the over in this one. Whew, this is a huge move. Now, TJ says, wasn't Palante listed as the original starter? Can you guys confirm that? I didn't know that was the case. Did anybody see?
Yes, he was the original starter, yeah.
Palante. At what time was that announced, the change towards Sonny Gray? I don't know why that would have been. It's not like Sonny Gray needed an extra day of rest. Okay, so that's got to be part of this monstrous move. It has to be. Do you know what time did you guys get a text message saying it's Sonny Gray starting? And do you guys remember?
I had Sonny Gray the whole time personally, but I capped the games later, obviously.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about when this move happened here. Will help, and then we'll give us an idea. So,
I mean, Penny has the move pretty steadily up as well. So it's not like Penny opened it like you said -170, then jumped to 200. It went from -170 to -178 to 178 to -188. I guess is the jump.
Or -185 to -205 between 7:19 a.m. and 7:50 a.m.
Well,
that's just 20 cents. So you're right. It's not a ridiculous move, and Justin kept us the whole time. Looked great. Oh, Aaron, thank you. Aaron saying it was 11 p.m. ish. So, around midnight Eastern, and that would be the.
TJ said it was 8 a.m. this morning, 7:45 to be exact.
Well, that's the 20-cent straight move. Minus 185 to minus 205. Okay. BJ is still a Cardinal spot either way. Okay. And Coin says back the team after firing a manager theory here. I don't do that in baseball. Jose, do you do that in baseball?
No, I don't. But it's what an interesting thing, especially because they have the first round pick in the draft next week or this week, whenever it is.
Yeah, were you surprised Davey got canned?
Yeah, it's just so random, and the GM too. I mean,
Rizzo,
the Juan Soto has been traded. I don't know how many times, 3 times, and he got the best deal.
Oh yeah,
he's the one that killed it. He's got the best deal, and it's not really close. I mean, it's one of the better trades that's been made by anyone in the last few years. It's Glasnow-esque, but obviously. They give up much less. But yeah, it's just crazy. I was pretty surprised personally. But it's not like the Nationals have been playing good. They had CJ Abrams out fucking gambling all night last year. It's a group of young players. Maybe they needed a fresh voice, I guess. I don't know. But I was surprised the GM got fired, yeah.
All right. And look at this. Troy Torrance says Pirates finished with a better record than St. Louis. AM says Cardinals -1 smash and grab. Crystal clear here. Cardinals just got bent over by the Cubs and will look to take their anger out on a struggling Nats team. SBK says Jake Irvin's record does warrant some attention. Let's discuss it. Irvin 7-3, 4.71 ERA. Oh, but we didn't talk about the cash. Oh, yes, we did. Yeah, we did. 68 and 75 on the Cards, which is even this huge move is more than that. Jake Irvin, 7-3, 4.71 ERA. He's allowed 20 home runs this year. 20 home runs, and he's been lit up on the road. I've succeeded with him at home, but he's coming off a quality start at home. It was an 11-7 win. He only allowed 3 earned runs over 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. On the road, he's allowed 33 earned runs in 9 starts. He's allowed 12 home runs on the road. He's not been good. Lefties hitting 252, 789 against them. Righties 243, 732. Sonny Gray, on the other hand, coming off that 5-0 loss at the Pirates, he's really zigzagged in his starts, but at home's where you can count on him. 18 earned runs in 10 starts. He's only allowed 4 home runs in those 10 starts. Allowed 6 home runs on the road, and it's righties that hit him. He gets lefties out 208, 558, but righties are 272, 744, and it's the lefties that are the most dangerous part of this Nats lineup, and we've talked a lot about that. They opened up with 4 lefties before Josh Bell is the switch, so this is the perfect lineup for him to destroy. Nats versus righties 253, 692 OPS. Cards versus righties 245, 725 OPS. Nats bullpen 5.57 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. Cardinals bullpen 3.88 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. I mean, I don't know exactly what to do with it, but maybe it's the Red Sox Cardinals parlay.
Well, there's one more leg to that parlay that I just made official, and we'll talk about it very shortly. By the way, Pete, Jimmy, can you guys put your heads together? I'd love to see what odds would you give Troy that the Cardinals and the Pirates the Cardinals have a worse record than the Pirates, because TJ wants that action. There's some talk about what the odds would be. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
That the Pirates have a what?
A better record than the Cardinals at the end.
Well, they're 9 games back. You'd have to get at least 10-1.
10 games back. 10.5 I'm seeing right now.
No, they're 8.5 games back of the Reds.
I'm sorry, who of St. Louis? Pittsburgh and St. Louis?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the Reds. What the hell am I talking about? Sorry, thank you. Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, that's
10.5 games back. 70 to play.
I was gonna go up to about 20-1 or 18-1 to 20-1.
All right. So I was just wondering what the odds would be there. So there we go. We can move on from that now. But yes, Jimmy, you called out exactly what I thought during this.
He said he would take 15-1.
Well, of course. I said
18-1 to 20-1. I think that is a fair. I think Peter's 70-1 was just wanting to focus on something else.
I said 70-1?
Isn't that what he said?
No, I said they're 10.5 games back. With with 70 games to play.
Oh shit! I thought you said 71. So what? I think it's 18-1 and 20-1. What would you give the line?
If you want to assume that that the records right now are predictive going forward, I could run some math and tell you what the odds would be for that.
That'd be interesting if you have time.
I cannot do it right now, but I will do it. I'll have that. I will email it for you tomorrow.
That's
there you
sweet.
go.
Okay, cool. And I'll share it with everybody tomorrow.
TJ, by the way, TJ said he'd give him 12-1, so the negotiations are ongoing.
Right. Well, of course. I mean, a couple gamblers, man.
Negotiations are ongoing.
All right, Jose, talk to us here about Nats cards.
Yeah, you said it. Parlay piece here. Give me the Cardinals. I love Jake Irvin. He's one of my guys that I've backed the last few years. I backed him in his last start, and I feel like I escaped with the fucking bag, even though I got punched in the ribs 16 times. He definitely has moments where he blows up. I hope today's one of them. Sonny Gray. I hope if the Cardinals are smart here, please, and he has a no trade clause, so I hope they can somehow negotiate this. Get Sonny Gray out of there. He doesn't want to go to a big market. We know that. He's not that guy. So Sonny Gray would be the best pitcher to go at the trade deadline if he would waive his no trade clause, and I don't think he will, unfortunately. So no action for me, but I think Sonny Gray dominates, and I like it.
You know, the double result here is plus 120 on the Cardinals. That's crazy.
Low or high?
That's a great deal. I mean, so it's plus one now. I know that it's Jake Irvin, but the Jays are only minus 200. Okay, the Cardinals are minus 220. Jays are minus 200, and the Jays double results minus 120. 40 cents more expensive than the Cardinals double result. So then you have to go to the total.
What's the double result for the next game we're going to talk about here? Because I believe that's the same line as this game.
But they're implying that there's low volatility, obviously.
Yeah, with 8.5 total.
Or 8 at some books. So they're implying there's low probability, or volatility. So then you ask, what is the Astros Guardians double result? Plus 120 is crazy to me. I mean, that...
it's a little sussy.
The double...
Makes it feel like Nationals first 5.
That's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. The Astros double result. So again, Cardinals plus 120, and then the Astros double result is plus 125. So again, it's the God. And Troy saying that's because minus 200 on the road is like minus 275 at home. Wow. That's a lot to think about because the Jays are on the road and the Cardinals and Astros are at home and just not. So I guess what Troy is saying is that the Jays are the biggest favorite on the board, even though Red Sox are minus 290. So then you ask yourself, what's the Red Sox? If the Jays are minus 120, Red Sox at this number minus 290 should be what, like minus 160? Right? The Red Sox are plus 100.
Jesus.
That's a lot to think about, which I'm going to need time to figure it out. So, Jose, what do you want to add to this?
Nothing. It's a parlay piece for me, but I'm good.
Action Jackson says, doesn't that make you want to move on the Nats first 5? Well, I tell you, it makes me not want to move on the White Sox first 3 plus a half. Mr. Belvedere's action here. Orioles plus 121, Rays plus 110, Mariners plus 120, Marlins plus 113, Pirates plus 121, Twins plus 127, Angels plus 104, and A's plus 105. That's a good-looking card. Peter Loshak, talk to us about this spot here with the Cardinals hosting the Nationals.
I mean, St. Louis seems like there's something wrong with them. You know what I mean? The names in the lineup look good. There's just something wrong with them. People are saying that they just got bent over, but, you don't necessarily recover from that immediately. I'm not saying that I want to take Washington here, but I was thinking that at least Irvin to get 4 strikeouts might be worth a shot. St. Louis needs a break. They're like banged up. I think they got some players who are playing through not necessarily injuries, but fatigue. There's just something that's not right with them, it seems. I don't know, man. There's no, I mean, I don't want to fade Sonny Gray, but St. Louis is like, I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah, Spooner, it's a great chapter. It's scorecasting, not sportscasting. I think you probably auto-corrected that. But yeah, it was a great chapter. I loved it. Pauly D. Gray over K's, my favorite bet of the day. And that's the spot. The over K's was Lamont Williams' max bet.
Really? Okay.
AM says the price for the Cardinals is ludicrous for a reason. I've got to sit with these double results a little bit more. JR Swish says Irvin's 10-6-2 in first 5. Irvin's been great. He's been great ever since he cracked that 7-game winning streak when the Mets were on switching cities.
This is just does St. Louis not strike out or something? Like, I don't understand why his strikeout prop is that low.
Wow, I've got a lot. These favorites are interesting, and I know, cappers like Troy Torrance can take such enormous advantage of the favorites, and Ant L and Toite Latte were the same cappers too, who would take huge advantage out from the favorites and 96% of their bets, which I needed them to show me a spreadsheet to prove it. I was like, come on, 96% of your bets are favorites, and it was 96% of their bets were favorites, but you have to get in the day before, obviously, as the line moves so heavy on these spots.
I missed Mr. Pussy Coffee.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him, man. I miss him too.
Great guy. By the way,
I'm gonna take Irvin over 3.5 strikeouts at -103. I have no idea why that line is so low. I mean, it makes no sense. I
think that's TJ's telling you. He says Washington only striking out 19% of the time in their last 30 games versus right-handed pitching. It's one of the best in Major League.
Washington, right? I'm talking about Irvin against the Cards.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Tripping there. Sorry, my bad. All right, let's. St. Louis only 20%. So
okay.
Let's roll on pig milk play of the day, and I've got to send Jose. I've got the package ready for pig milk. I know when he sees it, it's really nice. It's a really nice. It's really nice. Hot girl drinking milk, bunch of pigs sucking teat.
We can use the power of AI now to make stuff happen. So maybe
no. I got this. We don't need AI for this shit, man. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've got the material now, and I'll send it to you, Jose. He's on Joey Cantillo under 14.5 outs. Under 14.5 outs. He's been very good, but he's coming off his first start, 3 1/3, 2 hits, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Why would he? I can completely understand why Cantillo is not stretched out anymore. I mean, is he going to make it through 4 innings here? I find it hard to believe that he can. But let's talk about Cantillo. And Wage Detective saying Cardinals are 9-1 when Gray starts at home this year. Yeah, he's been very good. Guardians, Astros. We're in Dyken Park in Houston, Texas. We have Cantillo, who has pretty solid splits, the lefty. Astros are not destroying lefties anymore. By the way, Justin McKelvey on the Astros -1.5 and +104. The Astros 268, 808. They're still hitting them hard. But the Guardians are not hitting righties. Guardians are righties 189, 569 OPS. And now they're going up against Hunter Brown, who's been incredible. Even in the thin air. In Colorado, he goes 6 innings, allows 2 earned runs and 8 Ks. He's had 7 home starts. He's allowed 5 earned runs. Opponents hitting 144 against him. What chance do the Guardians have? Everything falling apart for this franchise. We have the Astros right now -195. Very fishy. You'd think they'd be a bigger favorite than that. It's not moved up to -195. Very strange. Maybe it's their numbers have dropped so dramatically last 30 that last 15, if Jose gives us last 15 stats for lefties for the Astros, maybe they're poor, which is must be the case because this total is a 7. It opened up, at a 7, and it was -118 to the over. Now it's just -108 to the over. So we've had 10 cents of movement towards the under. When we get to the cash flow here, we have the We get the Houston Astros, Cleveland. We have 80% of the tickets on the Astros and 86% of cash. Why is this line not moving? This has happened to me in these Hunter Brown starts. The Hunter Brown starts I've stayed off of. He's still shoved and delivered. 75% of tickets, 79% of cash on the under. Troy Torrance says Hunter Brown reverse splits. Fade the Guards off a win. Fade Cantillo after a quality start. Astros won 11 in a row at home off a loss. Database is bullish. He says he loves this spot. But AM says amazing spot for the Guardians last game. So I really would like to get to the Guardians here. Snap that losing streak. Spooner says Astros missing 3 of their biggest bats in Alvarez, Walker, and Payne. They're AAA bats I've never heard of. Have to get big hits here. Teacher says Cleveland, worst team in Major League Baseball versus a four-seamer. 29th versus knuckle curve makes up 53% of Brown's pitches. So is this a first 3 under 2? Jose, can you touch on the last 15? And I'm all ears. I'm very interested. Guardians, Astros, take it away.
Yeah, I put the Astros in the square parlay today. It's plus 197 for Red Sox, Cubs, Astros. Very square, whatever. But we're on it today officially here. Don't love the market situation there. By the way, Astros 279 plate appearances from the 15th to today against left-handed pitching, and they are still 129 weighted runs created plus, tied for third best in baseball there with the Boston Red Sox. So still good. And by the way, I will not hear any slander of these AAA bats, especially my guy Shea Whitcomb. We are a Shea Whitcomb family over here. Shout out to my guy Shea Whitcomb. I will probably be hanging out with him later on this year, so I will not slander the man and his inability to field a baseball. But he can hit. That's why he's a DH. So shout out to Shea. I hope he does well today. I'm on the Astros. I think that Hunter Brown shoves, and I'm a little worried about the market for sure.
Yeah, I still paid the juice. I still find overs very difficult to bet.
Yeah, mentally, it's very difficult for me to bet too.
Big shout out to our guy Matty Ice. They're in travel right now down to Atlanta for the PG East Cobb National Championships. 30 D1 scouts at our first game. Go get them, Matty. I love the way you lead these young men. It's so important for their lives, even if it doesn't include sports, to understand what it's like to be on a team and be counted upon. And safe travels, my friend.
Yep. Don't forget to wish the holidays good luck. Get on their good graces, because Oklahoma State's a great school, Matty Ice.
Peter Loshak, Guardians, Astros.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna pull that Irvin over 3.5. I don't something fishy about that. I don't really like it. Okay,
we're pulling Irvin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that. This one, is another one where the lines, kind of don't make sense to me, but in a more sensible way. I mean, Hunter Brown, when he rolls, he always goes 6. Not always, but 6 out of 7 home starts. He's gone 6 innings, so the over 17.5 outs, even at minus 214, is kind of tempting. I definitely like first 3 under as well, and even a Hunter Brown to his under hits prop, even at 4.5. He also suppresses hits at home. 6 out of his 7 home starts this year, 4 hits or fewer. So the hits prop under 4.5, even at a big line, might be worth a shot. But I'm definitely liking Houston here. And for official plays, thinking about Brown over 17.5 outs, even as a huge favorite, and first 3 under 2.5. Thinking about those.
Carter did not like your analysis there, Pete. He did not like your analysis.
He is my son. My son is nonplussed.
Carter did not. Yeah, he did not like your analysis there, Pete.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe Hunter Brown gets touched then. Jeez.
Yeah. No, he's been pretty upset with some of your analysis here, Pete. No. I think this is a first 3 under screaming now.
Yeah, I mean, not screaming, but worth the shot. Yeah,
it'd have to be a 2, obviously, and that first 3 under 2, at least for me, would be minus 108. But I still don't want anything to do with the Nats bullpen. 5.57 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. Over the last 30 days. When it comes down to it, I don't want them. Speaking of which, Finnegan's being dangled, to everybody. But I don't know if you can trust Finnegan to get strikeouts right now.
That guy was available the whole offseason, and the Nationals begrudgingly took him back. Nobody fucking wants that guy for whatever reason. Now, if someone trades capital, draft capital, prospect capital, anything that's not just cash considerations, you should be arraigned.
Well, Finnegan's going to be taken by somebody.
They should be arraigned. That'd be a horrible decision.
Curious to see who that is. Our guy Occupancy in the house, man. Yeah, we all need it sometimes, my man. Great to see you. And of course, big hockey season right around the corner. AM says, I'd love to have the balls to bet the Guardians here. Tough to get there, though. Very, very tough to get there. I've got some decisions to make here.
That would be Billy Friedrich. I'd cream my pants if the Yankees got Kyle Finnegan, because I just point and laugh at how bad they are and how pathetic they continue to be. And the fact that they have no manager as well also makes me laugh here. So, Pete, did you have anything official in this game?
Hold on. No, sorry. I'm looking at stuff.
No.
Yes, I will probably take either one of the two things that I hear. Let me just, so many things going on here. What? Yeah, 2.5. First 5 under 2.5. Why not?
First 5 under 2.5?
Right. No. First three.
Okay, thank you. I was like, good Lord, first 5 under 2.5. I'd have to take the over out of principle there.
Does Houston have bats here? What's going on here?
I think they'll come late for you guys. So I hope you guys cash. By the way, Pete, another question for you. Are you capping the women's Euros right now, the soccer? Because I know you're so busy over there. Are you capping the soccer?
I was looking at that. A lot of first half unders that I was taking in those. Yes, I was looking at that. Although right now,
because that's your favorite sport to bet now, Pete. It seems
the games this week. No, I haven't done anything with them. But last week, yes. Let me see. Let me just refresh my memory here. What the fuck is today's game? Oh, yeah. That's right. Yes. The Sweden game, first half under, was tempting, but I didn't take that. That's going off in about 20 minutes. All right, good. I want to check those odds.
See, I got Pete's brain going, Jimmy. So yeah. I'm sorry. I've got him sidetracked with now women's soccer here.
No, that's okay. I took the England game tomorrow. First half under 1.5 minus 190 might be a mistake, but whatever.
We have a question for you, Peter, from Billy Friedrich. Says, is that mirror in the background the mirror that you use to make your women's Euro picks?
That's not bad. That's not bad right there. Billy.
All right, let's roll.
Billy's on the board. One for Billy. Put him on the board.
I love Billy.
Yes.
Man. Okay, I cannot. I'm going to have to take a second here.
We'll start introducing the next game.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
By the way, Jimmy the Bag.
Oh.
You want your answer for that Pittsburgh St. Louis line?
Well, we'll give him a second. He'll be back here, and we'll give him.
Where did he go? What's going on here? I'm totally.
Don't worry about it. We're figuring out why Carter hates your analysis so much today. We're figuring that out while Jimmy does
Carter
that.
hates my analysis. Billy Friedrich slamming me.
Yeah, watch out. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next to you, Pete. But let's talk Rangers Angels here. Nathan Eovaldi versus Jose Soriano. Two pitchers that I actually am very fond of here. Soriano comes off of a good start last time out. Thankfully, I made some money off of it, which was great. 7 innings, shutout, 3 hits against the Atlanta Braves. And that was coming off of a terrible 4-inning, 8 earned runs performance against the Nationals there. So good bounce back start. I like Soriano, as many of you guys know, against Eovaldi, probably my favorite pitcher in the last 5-10 years. I love my guy, Nasty Nate. 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs at home versus Baltimore. This was supposed to be like another home start for him, or what I should better say is he came off of 3 home starts. This is now his first road start after 3 home starts, which is always kind of a sketchy spot for us here. Home road splits. We've got 2-1-4. Oh my God, he's just so good. 2-1-4 at home and a 1-4-4 on the road. So God, I don't know what with Evaldi's contract situation is, but man, what a pitcher he would be for someone. But he's been pitching well. I'm just a little worried about 3 consecutive home starts. Now he's going on the road here.
But that doesn't really count. He's had 2 consecutive home starts since coming back off the IL.
Okay, good note there. Thank you. So 2. Now he's going on the road here. Market in this game, we've got 68% of the bets and 72% of the money on Evaldi here. But it looks like this line has collapsed a little bit, and this opened up at minus 125, where we used to play poker at here. It is now minus 116. Penny also opening up. Wow, Penny opened this game at minus 113. So that's fascinating. It's up to minus 114 at Penny there. One more book. I'm going to look at Heritage here to see where they opened up at minus 115. They are now at minus 114. So very interesting openers there. Not much movement totals wise. 50-50 ticket flow and money. We've got 85% of the money on the over in this game. Jimmy, if you could shout out where the total is gone, that'd be appreciated because mine's still not up here. But I hope Carter's doing well.
Yes, it's summertime. Kids aren't in school, so I apologize for that. This total opened up with the over 8 at plus 101. The actual, this didn't start moving towards the under at all. This moved immediately to the over.
Jim,
sorry,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I have the answer to that proposition from Troy. Right?
Oh, beautiful! I'd love to hear it.
He eyeballed that, and he said he would take 15-1.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable because the fair odds, not taking into consideration head-to-head and assuming that their record up till now is predictive going forward, fair odds would be 15.5-1. That's unbelievable that Troy eyeballed that. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's perfect. It's perfect that Troy would nail it, and it's perfect that TJ would demand the 12-1. It's just perfect. It's just
I can't believe they eyeballed that.
These gamblers are my best buds, man, and I love it. I love everything about it.
Eyeballed that if he did.
I love everything about it, man. I love everything about that whole back and forth, man. Let's roll. So we've had a move towards the over. This went to 8.5. Oh, sorry, I kind of screwed it up. There was an initial move, a tiny move towards the under at first. Yeah, I get it. But then the move came to the over. It came around 10 p.m. last night. So overall, we have 12 cents of movement towards the over. 12 cents of movement towards the over. We also have Action Jackson looking at the Orioles. Our guy Noel in the house. Great to see you, Noel. We have an appealing spot here, but it's a 50-50 ticket count on the total, but 85% of tickets are 85% of cash is on the over. I think that we all faded Evaldi in his first start back from the IL, and then he looked pretty good in his next start, and now here he is in his first road start. So, and I'm not sure if this is right, but I just said he's fine. He's fine. That first start, like he always does, he doesn't take in rehab starts, so he always kind of struggles in that first start. Now he's fine, and that's how I took it. He's only allowed 7 earned runs in 7 road starts this year. 42 strikeouts and 6 walks. His splits are amazing. He's amazing. And then you have Soriano, who's just Jekyll and Hyde. And the market kind of is generally indicative as to what's going to happen out here. The market is telling us that these 2 really good pitchers are going to get touched up a bit. And I don't, this is them. Because the Rangers' bullpen has been excellent. 2.87 ERA, 1.25 whip. The Angels' bullpen's been very strong. 3.56 ERA, 1.31 whip. Of course, all of these stats, again, they're always last 30 days. You have the Rangers versus righties, 254, 746 OPS. Angels, 233, 714. So their sticks aren't hitting it. So this is all just telling me that it's them that are vulnerable. And if you take out that 8 earned runs against the Nationals, every other start for Soriano is being spectacular. If you remember that start, the line was moving heavy towards the over. So I think I kind of interrupted you, Jose. I apologize for that. Do you want to finish off where you were headed?
No, that was basically it. I kind of am split market-wise. I like both of these pitchers. I think I saw Troy in the chat say that we should be on this over, which is fascinating. Like 85% of the money and 50-50 ticket split on this over is a little interesting. So I guess I lean over, but I like both these pitchers, so it's tough for me to bet.
It's the first 5. It's these two pitchers that we need. These are the overs that I want to attack. These are them. It's when you have these pitchers with very strong numbers where the market is saying they're vulnerable. Peter Loshak, take it away.
Sorry, I'm just looking at stuff here. The Soriano, very high volatility as you expect from a ground ball pitcher, and Eovaldi, I think there's no reason to think that he won't be good again here. Not really seeing it. I would. I don't love the spot for Soriano, but again, when he's good, he's excellent. So if I was going to take Texas first 5, I'd probably honestly take him like -2 or something like that on the first 5 and get a huge dog line. I guess I'm going to pass here.
Now, Sports Scientist Jacob has the first 3 and first 5 unders. AM's on the Rangers -116. I'm very interested in this first 5 over. I think the market is saying that's where the vulnerability lies.
Well, so if you like the first 5 over, who do you think is going to get hit?
Oh, I think Soriano's going to get touched. I think Eovaldi will be good, not great, and Soriano will get touched. So I guess what should the difference in first 5 price be is the next question. The Rangers here at 365 full game are -120, and first 5 they're -115. The Angels are +100 full game and -105. But that makes sense to me too, because the Rangers bullpen's been very good. The Angels bullpen's been really good as well, but they're saying that there's an advantage here. Jerry Davis just bet the first 5 under 4.5. Again, Jerry, if the market wasn't involved, like for instance, if I was in Costa Rica in year 1 with Jose, I would come in. I'd look at these. I'd love Soriano. You guys know that. Eovaldi's now, in his 3rd start since the IL stint. He's only allowed 7 earned runs in 7 starts. I get it from an X's and O's standpoint. It's just the market is indicative of one of these studs getting touched.
The market's telling you, but wait. So if the market is liking the over, and they think Soriano's going to get touched, wouldn't the market also be moving in Texas' favor?
Yeah, that is.
And is it not?
Well, let's go. Because I was just listening to Jose with the money line talk. I was sort of more focused on that total, but right now, no, you're right. It's just not moving. It's moved 1 cent towards the Rangers, so it's not moving, and it's not moving, despite 68% of tickets and 72% cash on the Rangers. So it tells me that they both could get touched.
And what about the first half? Is the first half moving also? Over?
That is a good question. Let me just quickly move over to the total for the first 5. We can use a couple different books here. We'll use where we used to play poker. So the first 5 over has not moved at all. Nothing. It's not moved since this became available. If I go over to a Costa Rican book that I have always respected their line movement, they have moved it 10 cents to the under. This opened up -120 to the over 4. Now it's -110 to the over 4. So no, you're right. The market is not. It's just, I guess what it's saying is, with these two pitchers, if you compare it to. Now it must be that but these bats are weak too. But if you compare it to the Astros game, that total is dropped. This one hasn't. Robert Franklin on Angels money line. Jacob has CLV on the first 5 and the first 3 under. Yeah, the first 5's moved 10 cents at that offshore, the Costa Rican offshore. It's moved a cent on where we used to play. Like, I can understand from an X's and O's standpoint. I just don't think it's the bullpens that are vulnerable. I think the bullpens are both being very strong. But where does it take you, Pete? Does it move you off anything or on to something?
Well, I'm definitely going to take Josh Smith 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll take that one. Yeah, everything else is there's some Texas bats who struggle against the sinker. Evan Carter, Jake Berger. So I'd be considering those guys to not get a hit, something like that. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure what to make of Soriano. I mean, I don't like the spot for him, but he's got such high volatility. Yeah, I would love to take like Texas first 5 minus 2.5 at some big dog line, something like that. Love that.
Huh. I've got lots more to think about here. The TJ talking about the Eovaldi over strikeouts for prop bettors. Loshak on Smith over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. So we can move past this. Jose, is there
by the way,
anything...
I will add on Cleveland, Houston, first 3 under 2.5, though. I will add on at least that.
And I'll be... Oh, yeah. So I was talking about that one, yeah. I'm on the first 3 under 2 in that one. I get the right. 2.5, but I'm going to cut the vig down to the 2.
Well, Pete loves that juice.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with a little juice once in a while. Especially, he tracks all his action. He knows what he's succeeding with and what he's losing at. My first 3 under 2s have been incredible. Now I have pushed a couple of them, but they've been the best.
Well, I would rather have the 2. I'm just too lazy to find the 1.5 and calculate it.
Respect.
But he's not too lazy to find us the Troy Torrance real.
That's I could not believe it. Fair odds, about 15.5.
Billy Friedrich says Jose looks like he wants to hit that juice, but no. All right, let's move on here because I have moved on this game. Diamondbacks, Padres, we're at Petco Park in San Diego, California. This is a double up spot for me. Peter, speaking of the first 302s, I'm on this one.
Mm-hmm.
At plus 108. First 302. I'll check out what it was, but the other 2.5 was minus 145 when I bet this, and the other 1.5 was plus 165. Again, 365 does not give the best first 3 numbers. I'm also on the Padres minus 1 at plus 114. Jacob also on the Padres money line. Ronnie Lofton on the other side with Diamondbacks money line, and Carroll over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We have Merrill Kelly going up against Slick Nick Pavetta. Let's get into the weather to get this one started in San Diego. We have 75 Fahrenheit. Feels like 73. 9.8 miles per hour in. It drops a bit. It closes at 8 miles per hour in. Justin McKelvey on the Padres minus 130. We have expectation weather-wise. Petco minus 7% overall. Minus 5% homers. Minus 5% doubles and triples. And minus 6% singles. Merrill Kelly, let's get into the line history in the cash flow first. I got to move over to full game here. So full game. We'll start with the total in this one. We have a. Move over here. We have a 7.5. It's minus 109 to the over. This opened up at 8 at 7:09 p.m. Dropped to 7.5 after being available for 2.5 hours. Got back up to 8 around 1 in the morning, and 9:30 went back to 7.5. Bounced back up around 10 a.m. And then it stayed just a little after 10 a.m. Stayed at 7.5, which is where it's been. So overall, it's a move to the under, but it was initially juiced to the under. You can call it 0.333 runs if you'd like. From a money line standpoint, here we have the Padres at minus 131. They opened up at minus 116 here at 7:09 p.m. And it didn't take long to move to minus 132. 16 cents of movement took 3 hours. 4 hours and 2 minutes is what it took. And then it stayed there. So overall, we've had a 15-cent move. We take a look at the cash flow. We have 77% of the tickets on the Padres and 67% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. That was the case when I moved too. The bigger bets had come in on the Diamondbacks. That used to be in the past something I would then not bet, but I'm fine. 62% of tickets on the over and 65% of cash on the over, and yet this is moving towards the under. Merrill Kelly, 3.55 ERA, 1.09 whip. He's been very good this year. Coming off 6.5 extra inning loss at home versus the Giants. He allowed 3 earned runs over 6 innings. It wasn't on him. He's not been great on the road. 19 earned runs over 8 starts. He's been better at home. 225 opponents batting. He's still been very strong. He's still a very good pitcher. And lefties hit him harder than righties. Righties just 206, 577, whereas lefties are hitting 223 with a 710 OPS. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it is a legitimate difference. And Jackson Merrill, Luis Ariz, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth, and Brooks will expected to DH are the lefties. Tatis and Machado, Bogarts, of course, are righties. So we have Slick Nick Pivetta coming off a great start at Philadelphia. You know, he'd been a little worse on the road than he'd been at home, and he just shut the Phillies down. He's just pitching at such a high level. Lefties are hitting 199, 548 against him. Righties, 233, 701. So righties do stand a chance. So we expect Ketel Marte and Perdomo to hit from the right side. Then you have Suarez, Gurriel, and Herrera. The rest of the batters are lefties. Wager Detective, by the way, is on that Rangers money line and that Angels-Rangers spot. Thank you for sharing that with us, WD. Diamondbacks versus righties, 252, 769 OPS. Padres versus righties, 240, 702 OPS. Padres bullpen is being middling. Diamondbacks bullpen is not horrific right now. 4.40 ERA, 1.32 whip last 30. While the Padres bullpen, 3.82 ERA, 1.29 whip. I'm on the Padres -1. I'm on the first 3 under, and that's it for me. I still have a bias about the Diamondbacks bullpen, but the full game under sounds fine. Jose Bouquet, take it away. You are muted, my friend.
This is a tough game for me here. As you all know, I do not like Nick Pivetta, and he's kind of shoved it in my face this whole year. I can't believe he took the qualifying offer, and it seemed to be, I can't believe he rejected the qualifying offer is the better thing, and bet on himself, and it's worked out, but I just have like a implicit bias towards Merle Kelly, and the line moving towards him has gotten me probably to stay off. I just find this game to be difficult. Like I said, I don't like Nick Pivetta as a pitcher, so I implicitly am already leaning towards Arizona here. There's 67% of the money on them, and the Lions move against that, so I'm staying off.
Yeah, again, the bias is in play. Now, who knows? Maybe it works out for you here, but I think Slick Nick, I mean, he's just making people money, man. He's just making people money, and it's hard. I know that you don't like him as a person, but I think we should try to put a line through that shit. Mr. Loshak, take it away. Diamondbacks, Padres.
This one I got nothing. Not sure here. Arizona dangerous. Just pass.
All right, let's roll on here. We have 2 games left on the board before we hit the WNBA. And this was a game I really wanted to talk about, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. We did discuss it a little bit off the top, just because, anytime a pitcher goes completo like Robbie Ray does in his last start, I'm very curious how many pitches he threw. And he only threw 102, and 3 of his last 4, he's pitched over 100, and he's gone up to 108. So that doesn't really concern me. I respect Taijuan Walker for handling this. His last start was back in May 30th. He got touched for 4 earned runs and a 6-2 home loss versus the Brewers. Since then, he's been pitching out of the bullpen. He's been pitching well. And now he gets an opportunity here. Overall this year, 3.64 ERA, 1.33 whip. Lefties, righty splits are fine. Righties hit him harder. And then on the road this year, he's been very good. Very good. 5 earned runs over 20 2/3. He's allowed 1 home run on the road. He's pitched in 8 games. He started 3 of them. Then we have Robbie Ray, as I said, coming off that 7-2 win at Arizona, complete. He's allowed 16 earned runs over 9 home starts. He's looked very, very strong. Billy Friedrich just moved on Walker under 11.5 outs, plus 125. Taijuan Walker under 11.5 outs, plus 125. I mean, there's 0 chance he'll see a lineup a third time. Are they comfortable letting him see a lineup a second time? And maybe they aren't. So the splits are excellent for Robbie Ray. He's just been pitching well. But the Phillies are hitting lefties right now. 272, 742 OPS. Not a ton of power, but hitting them. Giants versus righties, 247, 27 OPS. This Phillies bullpen, 3.95 ERA, 1.28 whip. Very pedestrian last 30 days. And same with the Giants, 4.22 ERA, 1.28 whip here. SBK's on the Giants first 5 minus a half, and he's on the over. Look, I get it. Taiwan Walker probably shouldn't be trusted at all. I'm not high on him, but he's pitched better than I thought he would this year. 61 Fahrenheit feels like 58, 9.8 miles per hour out to center, dies down at 8 miles per hour. And we know that wind swirls. So overall, it's minus 7%. It's tied with Petco Park as the least offensive ballpark today. Minus 23% home runs, minus 10% doubles and triples, but plus 11% singles. Line history wise, we have the Giants at minus 142. They open up minus 149. So there's been a very slight move towards the Phillies. And then when we get to the total in this one, we have a total of 8.5. A huge move to the over, a very high total for Giants games. Now this opened up at 7.5 in the afternoon. Here, the book I used opening up at 7:09 p.m. at 8. It was minus 113 to the under then. Now it's 8.5. Now it's minus 115 to the over, but this is a real move towards the over, a legit move. You have 62% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the Giants, but this line's not moving towards them. You have 80% of tickets on the under, but you have 53% of the cash on the over, and that money is talking. Take it away, Jose Buquet. A very interesting spot.
Yeah, I leaned at Phillies here. I'll tell you that for sure. I've been kind of anti Robbie Ray as well this year. And have this line really not moved at all? Minus 145. I see Penny open this up at minus 149 down to minus 142. I thought it was a little low, to be honest, but I was like, okay, this is the Phillies, who are a playoff team. You know, Taijuan, as they say in Spanish. Taiwan Walker is not a, good pitcher. So I was like, what, should this be minus 175? And I was like, no, it's probably too high. So line seemed, I guess, fair. I kind of lean Phillies, though, and I just haven't gotten there yet. But I definitely do lean that direction.
AM now moving on the over, and, I really get it. Price difference right now, the first 5 in full game is 20 cents. Giants minus 150, money line at 365, minus 170, first 5. Peter Loshak, take it away.
Why are people that down on Walker here? I mean, it's a nice little pitcher-friendly park. Go ahead.
He's been hidden. And he's handled it all very well, I think. I'm impressed with his character this year. Not complaining. And I'm a little surprised. I mean, this is such a high total. When was the last time we saw an 8.5 at Oracle? I can't tell you when.
Very weird. With Robbie Ray going.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw that. I mean, it's a tricky spot. Tricky spot. But keep waxing on it, Peter. I'm all ears.
Well, I mean, statistically, it depends. Yeah, it depends on how deep Walker's going to go. The number said he's expected to go 4. At 4 innings, my number said there was value at him under 2.5 earned runs and over 2.5 strikeouts. But then also the first 3 under was 2.5 minus 105 on the under. It was juiced to the over with Robbie Ray going, and it still is.
Something's up.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents play of the day on the Phillies money line. Top set says Phillies team total under, seems like the side. Irish Kings on the Giants first 5 minus a half and team total over 3.5.
This has top set, same game parlay, Phillies team total under, Phillies money line, and like the full game under written all over it.
Wager Detective looking at the 8. Do you know that if I want, now, I mean, I know I could get it cheaper at a different book, but if I wanted the 8 here at 365, if I wanted the 8, that would cost minus 135 to the over.
Wow. So yeah, high total for Oracle.
I'm just not seeing it. He's got he hasn't pitched since Wednesday. He's not lights out, but overall he's okay. If you look at his longer appearances earlier in the year, all right. I mean, he got hit at home. He got hit by the Giants once. Still got 5 strikeouts.
Coin is looking at that under 17.5 outs for Ray at plus 105.
Did Billy
I'm
Friedrich
officially
like
on
the
the
walk or
Phillies.
under outs prop because he's on a pitch count or because he expects him to get touched a little bit?
Billy, can we hear the angle? Is it pitch count or your thought that he gets touched up? What were you going to say, Jose?
Officially on the Phillies plus 134. I'll ride with the TC.
Pitch count, Billy says.
Pitch count is what he said. Okay.
All right. We have Jose also moving on the Phillies. Well, I can't help but be interested by this over. Bullpen's not being very good. SBK saying Adames has 2 bombs in his career at bats versus Walker. I mean, I honestly, I'd love somebody to tell me last time we saw an 8.5 at Oracle.
Yeah.
DJ says only DeGens bet this game in his opinion. Well, you're in the right group, man. Okay. I'm very interested in the over. I'm gonna have to take some more time on it, but something's up, man. Something's up. It's as if Rage is threw 120 pitches.
He didn't throw that many, did he? He threw like 100.
No, he threw 102 is nothing. But
Right.
And that's what we mentioned that twice, that it wasn't an outlier or anything. All right. So okay, let's move on. Jose's moved on to Phillies. What line did you get, Jose?
Muted plus 134.
Plus 134. Billy Friedrich on Walker under 11.5 outs at plus money, big plus money, plus 125. And I'm very interested in this over. Let's roll on to our final spot of the day in baseball. We will talk WNBA, even though it's hurt me badly. Nice break from WNBA. Braves 39-50, 15-28 on the road at Athletics, 37-55, 16-29 at home. We're at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, California. And you were very close, Jose. Top sets, non-correlated parlay, Philly plus 1.5 and team total under 4.5, plus 220.
Makes sense.
TJ says WNBA should take a permanent break. You'll see how horrific my record is when it comes up, and it's been costly. I did cut $50 from the unit size down to 200, and I'm not throwing in the towel yet, but it's out of the fucking dryer and ready to be fucking tossed.
I look forward to Ella's basketball career in the WNBA.
Oh, look, she's made me very proud. Her hustle, her fight, her determination.
What was the thing that made you jump through the fucking glass door again?
She stole the ball off the star player, went around the side, exactly like I told her, slapped it around, grabbed it, and broke.
I could see it. This little Havlicek stole the ball. Ella stole the ball. Jimmy just jumping for joy.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. There was no words. It was just screaming and fist pumping, and I literally flew. I floated 20 feet into the glass. But let's talk about this spot. Braves A's here, Sutter Health Park, which is a very offensive park today. Let's get into the weather here. 85 Fahrenheit, feels like 81. So it's not as hot as we've seen it, not nearly as hot. 9.8 miles per hour out to center. So we've seen it get up 95, 98 a hundo. It is plus 17% most offensive ballpark, plus 33% home runs, but just plus 2% doubles and triples, and plus 8% singles. We have Didier Fuentes, who has struggled as a Major League Baseball player, allowing a earned run an inning, 1.83 whip. Now, it's only 12 innings, but he's allowed 3 jacks. He struggled on the road, struggled at home. Lefties have a 1.065 OPS against them. Righties hit him too, 333, 851. Jeffrey Springs on the other side, the lefty, 6-6, 4.07 ERA, 1.23 whip. Coming up 4-3 extra inning win at the Rays. He allowed 2 solo shots. That's it. Starting to get more comfortable in these little bandboxes, but he's struggled at home. 6 starts, 7 games he's pitched in, 21 earned runs, 8 home runs. He allowed more home runs than starts at home. 231 opponents batting average. Now he's allowed 8 home runs on the road. He's still been pretty good this year. He's got the reverse splits, right? He's just 214, 690 against him. The Braves aren't hitting lefties at all, 237, 645 OPS. The A's are hitting righties, 234, 716. The Braves bullpen has been excellent, 2.89 ERA, 1.10 whip. And the A's bullpen has been a little better, still bad, 4.74 ERA, 1.36 whip. We have Coin leaning to Springs over 5.5 hits at plus 100. Jermaine on the over 11. Justin McKelvey got that over 10. And TJ says, I project Springs to have a nice outing here. I've doubled up on the A's. AM says, Braves flying across the country to come play the Athletics, resting at home. Pretty strange to see the Braves still favored here. And that Cubs total, according to Scott, up to 9.5. Thank you for that update, Scott, my man. So we've talked about the weather, very offensive expectation. We've talked about these two pitchers. Let's get into this line right now. This total is an 11. Now you can't get 10.5. This opened up at 10, juice to the over. It took 7 hours to get to 10.5. Then it came back to 10, back to 10.5. Now an 11. It's not maybe a true 11 as minus 117 to the under and plus 104 to the over. Let's get into the money line here for this one. We have these Athletics at plus 106. They opened up at minus 108. Why? I guess I could explain it, but I'm still surprised by it. And then we have the cash flow for our last spot on the board. You have 61% of the tickets on the Athletics and 52% of the cash on the Braves. 55% tickets on the over, but 74% cash on the under, and yet it climbs. Mr. Belvedere on the Athletics plus 105. Huh.
Why are people on the A's when the line's flipped? Did you guys just make those bets before? Like, why are we betting on the A's here? I don't understand that. I mean, I'm moving on the Braves right now, minus 115. It's just a classic. They open again. This is where we used to play poker. I look at Penny where it opened there, but it opened up minus 109 and now minus 115, minus 109 A's, now minus 115 Braves. And Penny, like you said, Jimmy, minus 108 A's, now minus 115 Braves. This is Jeffrey Springs where he's not pitched well as well, correct? I mean,
BJ says, why is the Braves line so low? I mean, it's easily explained because Didier's been so bad.
And the Braves suck. They've been bad all year. They're not going to make the playoffs this year.
This line confuses me. Justin McKelvey does say one day I'm betting on me to bet Jimmy in ping pong. I'll let you guys know that my shoulder's back in fucking business, being very dominant on the ping pong tables and the pickleball courts. By the way, just
let's say very similar games, those two. So I can imagine.
It's God, I have a nasty ass backhand on the pickleball courts. I never played before. Never played in my life until this past weekend.
So maybe you're just a low-key tennis star as well.
I don't think so. That's a little different.
A little more running.
I don't know. It was a rich kid sport. I never played it. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's funny because hockey was the rich kid sport to me growing up.
No, that's true. That's true. Hockey's so expensive and getting more expensive. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. But back to this spot here, it's very confusing. I played for the first time this weekend, Justin. It's very close to Pong, man. Jose, keep talking about this spot because I'm confused by it. I completely understand why initially I don't think this is a fishy opener. I think the opener makes perfect sense to me. The Braves are 13 games under 500 on the road. The A's are 13 games under 500 at home. And you have a huge advantage with Jeffrey Springs here. Not a huge advantage. Sorry, I take that back. Statistically speaking, we've not seen Fuentes pitch well. I can completely understand why TJ moved on the A's. That makes sense to me. Where's the advantage? The advantage is just on the Braves bullpen. I guess that we're still waiting for Didier to pitch well. Like, are we gonna get that start where everyone goes, that's why he's the 20-year-old phenom?
I mean, with this total, you said it started at 10, it's not 11, right? I mean, I don't think so. I'm on the Braves, and I expect this to be an offensive slugfest. But I mean, it's just the market. The market says that they flipped this market ticket count, or I should take spread of tickets instead of count. 57% of the bets on the A's, 55% of the money split each way, and you flip the line. I mean, I'll take the Braves and let the market take the wheel here.
Come on, 18K. TJ, 18K a month? Please tell me that I'm reading that wrong.
Might as well fucking pay for his college at that point.
You're saying he's paying $200,000 a year?
To play hockey?
It's got. I think he's going to get the. What? $18,000 a month? Okay,
where are you traveling to with $18K? You better be going to fucking Europe every fucking other month.
Wow. That's just bananas. Jesus, Junior Kings for 2 kids. That's just a crazy that's just, I can't even, because
that's why I couldn't have been the hockey goalie I was meant to be, Jimmy. I could have been the best Venezuelan hockey goalie there ever was.
No, they've changed it. They have the NHL sponsoring First Shift, and First Shift now gets you skates and entire equipment for $299 and 6 sessions, and it's sponsored by the NHL and the NHLPA, and it's magic. It's all over North America. First Shift. It's huge, but still that scares the shit out of me, TJ.
I slipped through the cracks.
Peter, Braves Athletics.
This one I didn't get a chance to do my deep dive on. I'm looking all around here for Taijuan Walker stuff. Yeah, it says he says about a 60-ish pitch count is what it's going to be. Here we go, Jimmy the Bag. I'm going to take a shot here. Walker under 2.5 earned runs minus 160.
Wow, that throws another loop to this whole. I mean, if you got Walker under 2.5, just because it's probably, a 3.5 inning.
Yeah, I mean,
2 run.
It could be all right, and also, you look at his, tiny sample size, but his numbers this year on the road are great. At home, he's gotten touched a bit. Look, he's not a stud, but at Oracle, 4 innings. I'm just going to take a shot with it, Jim.
What was the juice?
Minus 160.
That's funny. All right. Anybody want to add anything to Braves A's? Because if the line had moved 10 cents in the opposite direction, I'd be joining as fast as possible TJ on the A's. So, but it hasn't. And at what point is Fuentes going to pitch well? It's tricky. So I at this point, there's nothing here for me. Nothing here for me. And AM on the Braves. Jose, anything for you?
I'm just shocked at the price of hockey. Good
oh my God. I heard here that at AAA, whether it be Adam or Bantam now at AAA, that it can cost between $20,000 and $30,000 a year, which is insane.
What is the difference in the leagues there? What's Bantam and Anthem or whatever the fuck those are?
Adam. I mean, Bantam is like what 13, 14, I guess, and Adam's like 11, 12.
Oh. Is that the first stage that they play like organized hockey?
Oh God, no, man! What are you talking about? You play at 6.
I don't know. I saw a video of fucking 10-year-olds playing in a mall in Edmonton, and one of the fucking kids scored an overtime goal and went fucking backhand forehand like 6 times.
Brick tournament, man. It's the most famous tournament for kids in Western Canada, man. It's famous tournament. You should have seen Connor Bedard in that tournament.
I fucking couldn't believe it. I was like, how are these fucking kids like just stick handling like this? I was like, that's absurd.
That's not. But it is a very famous tournament. Whose dad owned the brick was Mike Comrie.
I thought you were going to say Gokster.
No, Mike Comrie. Yeah, TJ says it's not a typical league. We're talking top level, practice with pros and pro coaching, travel all over the world for tournaments. Wow.
Okay, I'm glad they at least get out of the U.S. for the price they're paying.
But I mean, the problem is no kids are going to be able to play. Like no one's going to be able to play, and now that's the thing. Like if Carter's going to have to know at like 10 years old or so, 8 or 9 years old. I'm like, if you're not the best, it's over. We're going to stop. We're not. You got to be the very best out there, or we can't afford it. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you. You go out there, you be the fucking best, or you find fucking pickleball. Let's go through and I mean the very best. I don't mean I'm not sure who's the best player on your team, but again, I'll try to wait till he's
first line center.
Well, he's probably not going to be big enough to be a center. He's got to be a winger. But For real MMA, no. There's only one game in WNBA. Billy will be back with us tomorrow. But if you look at my record, I can understand why you would say you should get Billy up here. I get it. I've sucked. Now, that last breakdown we had with Peter last Tuesday, he cashed first half under. I'm still angry over the first quarter under and first half under and being afraid to make this. Still so angry. But let's review all action here. These are the bets I came to the show with. I came with the Rays first 5 minus 105. The Dodgers Milwaukee first 5 over 4. Minus 132. Did I really need to pay for that 4 instead of the 4.5? I'm not sure. I don't. The over 8.5 minus 115. I'm on Pittsburgh KC first 3 under 2.5 at minus 130. Pittsburgh KC under 8 at minus 120. Padres minus 1 at plus 114. And Arizona San Diego first 3 under 2 at plus 108. I'm adding the Orioles, and I think the fight between the Mariners Yankees might have got me off the Yankees. Might have. I understand the Red Sox are the cash cow. I need more time with it.
We have great news, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's not a month, it's a season.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
We have great news, Jimmy. You can relax now. Cocky is a little more affordable.
Oh, God. Okay, thank you. Fuck.
Thank God. We were worried there, TJ. We were like, oh, my God.
I wasn't even going to start. I was going to let's not even look at hockey. Okay. Oh, my God.
$18K for all that now. It's not that bad.
No, that's really expensive.
Oh, really? Okay. So
$18K for the year. It's really, but that's supposedly what it costs up here at the highest level, like 20 to 30K a year, Canadian 18. Okay, that's good. Because I said, it was like, BJ, that's like 200,000 a year. Well, you don't play for 12 months, but okay.
Yeah, 4 seasons a year, $9K a kid for 3 months. So not bad.
No. The season's got to be at least 6 months minimum. But okay, that's much better to hear. I'm interested. I want the Marlins. I might move on the under. Then I hammered those overs. I didn't hammer them. I just 1 unit each. But then I don't know what to do with. I think I'm going to leave the Pirates alone and just stick with my action here. Then the White Sox first 3 plus a half. Now going over the double result prices, Toronto's the most expensive double result today. And they're not the biggest favorite, so it's a lot to think about. Then, do I want to use the cash cow with the Red Sox with the Cards? Because the Astros, even though I love under Brown, that line's just not moving fast enough or moving at all. But I am going to use the first 3 under 2 in Guardians Houston here with some nerves. Then that first 5 over in Rangers Angels, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. And then the over in Phillies Giants with AM, the numbers just doesn't make sense. So those are the possible additions that I will be figuring out here as soon as the show is over. Jose Bouquet, please review. And Jose, we're going to do a real quick breakdown of WNBA. So just stick with us and we'll put a bow on the show. We'll do a real quick breakdown because just one game will be done in just a couple minutes. Jose, your action in MLB.
Marlins money line plus 105, Baltimore Orioles money line plus 110, Pirates plus 122, Dodgers Brewers over 8.5 minus 115, Phillies money line plus 134, Braves money line minus 115, and I have a Red Sox Cardinals Astros money line parlay and plus 197, the square parlay of the day.
And the first 3 under is a possibility in that Nats Cards, a possibility. Bo Jackson says, stay off the Cardinals. Nats can upset. Peter Loshak, my friend, please review your MLB action.
Okay, first of all, I I think when I did my calculation, I'm just looking at the math right now. I don't know if this is right, but I might have made a mistake. It's not 15 to 1; it's 1,500 to 1 that that Pittsburgh would catch St. Louis. I'll have to review my math. Yeah. No,
be with a minor miscalculation.
I was glancing at it so quickly. I looked at the spreadsheet and I saw 0.06. I thought that meant 6% chance. It's actually a 0.06% chance if I did my math right, which I think I did.
That's a big difference. Now
I'll look into it.
TJ might take that 15 to 1 now.
Yeah.
No, I think he's still going to stay with the 12 to 1.
No. I'll look into this, but I think, I'm double checking the math.
You just forgot the comma, as Oldie is saying. It happens to the best of us.
I mean, yeah. So that's assuming that, like,
that's funny.
going forward, the records would be the same. If they are, no handicapping involved, no head-to-heads. What are the chances that that Pittsburgh could catch them 11 games with 70 to go? I think it's all right. I'll get back to you, Jimmy the Bag, on this one. Yeah, but it's not 15-1. It's 1,500-1.
Jesus, fuck!
It changes a lot, Pete.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
I'll look into it better.
Can you review your action, my friend?
All right, so here we go. All right, let me just find my action here. So much. All right, so whole bunch of shit. All right, Chandler Simpson 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs plus 100, and Aranda hits, runs, RBIs 1.5 minus 105. And I saw someone added it on. I'm going to add on. Imanaga's great, but I'm going to add Buxton over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. It'll be about 140. I'll search for the price after the show. Then Eaton 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs minus 117. Trevor Story and Toro, Abe Toro. Story's minus 160, Toro minus 132. And I'm going to take Romy Gonzalez, RBI, plus 143. Then in the Cincinnati game, we'll see De La Cruz home run, plus 347. And Perez under 4.5 hits given up, minus 137. Then in the Cubs game, just two lefty props. Crow Armstrong, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 145. And Bush, 1.5 at minus 120.
Makes sense.
Pasquantino, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at minus 140. And then in the White Sox game, there's a bunch of, probably the Jays are going to have a big offensive day, but I'll pass on all those. Just Talkman, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, plus 100. And Benintendi, RBI, plus 180. Then Cleveland, Houston, first three, under 2.5, minus 150. And I guess I'm leaving money on the table, not taking Brown to go 6 innings again. But I don't know. I guess I'm leaving money on the table. Then in the Texas game, Josh Smith, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 121. And Taijuan Walker, under 2.5 earned runs, minus 160. If he gets crushed, hopefully there's an error, and he gives up 5 runs, only one of them earned, and I cash anyway. We'll see. 60 pitch count. 60 count pitch count for him, supposedly. So we'll see. That's it.
Oh, it's a fun card, Pete. A fun card here. Let's hammer this WNBA game quick here and put a bow on the proceedings. Peter, do you want to set us up for Aces Liberty?
No, I'm just really embarrassed that I glance at my spreadsheet and saw the. I'm going to do it. No, but I think it is not 6% chance. It's a 0.06% chance.
Come on, Pete.
Jeez. Top set. Glad I'm not tailing Pete today. Absolutely top set. It's going to be a good day for you, top set. I had probably a great week. Shout out to you, top set.
Scott's going to tail Bush and PCA. Those lefty bats should attack. Justin McKelvey has the Aces plus 5.5. Pete, do you want to set up Aces Liberty, or would you rather have Jose set it up?
I'd rather have Jose. I mean, it does seem like they shouldn't be, at first glance, shouldn't be that big of a dog. Liberty has been terrible ATS. They're coming off a straight-up loss as a favorite. I think they've lost like 8 or 9 in a row ATS. And so, I don't know. Go ahead, Jose Bouquet. What do you got?
Yeah, Pete, I'll tell you right now, this is a clear as day. Like, if you don't see this, your eyes aren't open, Pete.
Okay.
Las Vegas Aces spot. Yeah, drink that prune juice. Yeah. First of all, obviously, what's WNBA Cup commission? What's the NBA the WNBA championship rematch here? Aces Liberty. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
You're wrong. It was Minnesota, New York Liberty. These are the last 2 champions.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. Even better. Last 2 champions. They played each other in the playoffs, right?
Oh man.
You know, I really didn't care last year at all, and my record this year is making me not care this year.
Okay, well, I think these guys played in the playoffs.
Wow,
here.
Great news here. Hate to interrupt the breakdown. Wow, Eli will be home in 30 days. Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
finally get to hold Koa. That's wonderful, wonderful news. Oh man, wonderful, wonderful news. So happy for the whole family and for the baby Koa and all of it. So wonderful, wonderful news. 30 days till Eli comes home. Wonderful, wonderful news. And there's so much strife in the world right now that let's just get him back home. Get him back home.
Get him home.
He can go back out when there's some more peace in the world. But right now, let's get him home. Get him with his boy. That's wonderful news, G. I'm so happy, man. Jose, take it away.
Agreed. Yeah, aces spot clear as day, Pete. If you don't see it, you're fucking blind like Helen Keller. You can't see or hear no evil. There's 75% of the bets on New York, 88% of the money on New York. I'm seeing this open up at a 4.5 here. I need to check a more reliable site for that actually right now. But this opened up with with the Liberty here, and my fucking site just not working today. What a pain in the pussy it has been for me today. But opener here at 5, I'm seeing, and I'm going to assume that 5 was at, oh no, they opened up 5.5 at Penny here, and it's 4.5 there. BOL had 5, it is 4 there. And again, there is 75% of the bets, 88% of the money on the Liberty. We've gone down a point. It feels like a Rabenga spot for this Las Vegas team losing in the playoffs against the Liberty. I hope they played against each other. And I like the Aces here, and I think they could win this game outright for sure.
I mean, that all makes sense here. Aces coming off their second win in 3 games, 86-68 at Connecticut on Sunday. It's a strange spot, and I'm going to wait a little bit because I don't think it's as cut and dry, personally. In that Aces game, Asia Wilson scored 19 points. 4 blocks as well. Dana Evans went for a career high 18, 7-11 shooting. Jackie Young 14 and 6. Melissa Smith had 11 and 10, first double-double of the season. Neither team is playing well right now. Aces are 4-5 on the road this year. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're doing nothing well. 9th in scoring, 12th in field goal shooting, because so much of it is, I know that Asia Wilson takes care of it, but they have so many guards on the floor all the time, and defensively they're not very good. 10th in the league in field goal defense, 3-point defense, 9th in points allowed. This is game 4 of a 5-game road trip that ends in Washington Thursday. Now Cloud is doubtful. Says Justin. Let me just see if we can get a last minute update here on a Cloud injury report, because that is important. The late entry. Wow. A late entry. I did not know that she was. I mean, I've got questionable and questionable, but you have doubtful. That's a big difference maker here. And I get that the Liberty kind of suck. They've lost 3 of 4, and Justin saying that they kind of suck. They just lost 79-78 home to the Storm on Sunday. They were in control of that game before the third quarter, and then they get 2 for 18 from the field. They missed their first 10 shots of the third quarter, and Stewart sucked. 8 points. That's the first time she hasn't gone for double digits since the first game of the 2024 season. 2024. And then they lose Isabel Harrison, a reserve forward, right knee injury. They shoot 35% from the field. Ionescu goes 7-19 from the field. They've won 3 of 9. I know that Jonquel Jones being out sucks, but this isn't like I've never said, game 3 of an 8-game homestand. But everybody, and I'm shocked that all the tickets and cash are on the Liberty. If Cloud is out, then that line move is not enough. If that line move is predicated with, Cloud being out, then maybe it's not as big of a deal. I'm going to have to think about this more, but I tell you what, one thing just in advance is the Aces play here in New York on Tuesday. On Thursday, they play in Washington. Then on Saturday, they play at home against Golden State. After a 5-game road trip, first game back home, only 1 day to travel. That'd be the Friday. Then they play immediately Saturday. On Saturday, the Valkyries is a must bet, an absolute must bet in that first game with the Aces at home. If the Aces smash the Liberty here or win, then we have to fade them in game 5 of the homestand, don't we? I'm with you, AM. That's my whole thing. Is that the thought Liberty getting beat at home by the Storm, not showing up in the third quarter, getting embarrassed, Stewart getting embarrassed, was I'm only looking for the Liberty, honestly. In fact, I don't want the Aces here. But if this is the same situation in 3 or 4 hours, or 3 hours, I'd say, where the public is all on the Liberty and this line moves another 1.5, maybe it's the Cloud information. But I do not want to fade, the sleeping fucking bear in the Liberty. I still think they're a good team. Stewart coming off getting embarrassed. Ionescu shooting poorly. The whole team shooting poorly. So I need to study this more, but I'm not going to be on the Aces.
I bet them +4.
Okay. No, I get it, but I'm not going to be on them. This is not the spot. Team being embarrassed, and the defending champion being embarrassed on their home floor. The defending champion winning 3 of 9. Now, maybe you could say it's all happened because Jonquel Jones is out. Now they're not going to have, Tyler Cloud. So again, I'm slowing down all my action here, but I'm still angry that I didn't move on those 2 spots because of the injury announcement with CC in that Commissioner's Cup final. So Jose is our man who's moved on it. Jose is on the Aces, +4. Is that -110, Jose?
Yeah.
All right. That concludes our show for today, Jose. Jose, let's get you with the W, and maybe you could actually, Pete, 3-3. Pete, you're a win away from the black. That would help the show. Remember, Pete, remember the rule. One of us has to be winning.
Right.
That's the rule. So that could be you, Pete. And I know you're focused on something else right now.
Yeah. Yes, you damn Skippy.
What are you focused on right now, Pete? You're looking at something very intimately.
AM says, what about the over? I kind of like the over. You have to think that the Liberty shoot better. Now, I guess we need to wait for the Cloud situation now. That's kind of, but you have 72% of tickets and 85% of cash on the under. This line's not moving towards the under. I do. And of course, you have Jonquel Jones out, so the paint's a little clear. And you have Ionescu off a game where she shot 7 of 19, and the Liberty missed 10 straight shots in the third quarter, and they still put up 70 points. So, yeah, I kind of like the over. I kind of like it, but at this point, I'm very fearful of totals. Very fearful of totals. But I like that over AM, and so I'm interested in that. Very interested. But again, I guess we got to wait for Natasha Cloud being dropped. We got to put a bow on the proceedings here. 16 games and 3 hours and 40 minutes later. But, whatever it takes to get that cash. Sometimes you got to dig pretty deep, man. You got to dig pretty deep. Thank you. We're going to let Pete put a bow on the show. Loshak in the Bag will not be here next Tuesday. Loshak in the Bag taking the next Tuesday off. That's the All-Star game on Tuesday night. On the Monday night, though, we have not only Medicaid Mondays, but afterwards we have we're in the building getting us started, with Mike Anderson, Rudy J. But at night we have the live stream for the Home Run Derby, which will be big.
Who's Mike Anderson?
Oh, shit. Did I screw that up?
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. I thought you were talking about a comedic there. Shout out to Mike Taylor.
Fuck. Sorry, Mike Taylor. Why did I have that Anderson in my head?
That's why. Who's Mike Anderson?
Mike Taylor. Fuck. Sorry. Well, they still haven't had me on the show, so it's not real yet.
Well, it's not for a lack of try. That's a battle. But this Monday.
This Monday I will be in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Next Monday.
Next Monday I will be back home. TJ says, does Jose have a derby pick? It's a must tail. Billy Friedrich says, best of luck. Justin McKelvey, Wager Detective AM, Timmy Tushu, Scott, thank you. Thank you guys. Billy Friedrich, nice to see the Pig Milk Play today back in business. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Topset, Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Guillermo Zertucci. Wonderful news that Eli is coming home. That is absolutely wonderful news. Hopefully we can have peace on earth and nothing wild, get him back out there too soon. Nathan Cerna, thank you. Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you guys so much. Old E in the house, Bo Jackson. What a great group. I'm very thankful to be a part of it. So thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Troy Torrance, Wine Time, Spooner, BJ, thank you guys. Just my 2 cents. We have UFC 317 popping off. JR Swish. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Nasty Nate. We have nothing without you guys. So let's go out there and get that cash. Jose, any last words before Pete takes us home?
No, I'm very interested to hear Pete's wise words to take us into this week. We're not going to see him for a week or so, so it's going to be a while since we see Pete. Who the fuck knows what Pete will be doing in a week here, because he doesn't even know what he did fucking 2 days ago. So I'm excited to see all that. Shout out to all you guys, Topset, Justin, Nasty Nate, JR Swish, Scott, all you guys. Appreciate all you guys for watching. Pete, I need a lot of wisdom because this better be 2 weeks worth of wisdom here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, no, I can't give you any wisdom right now because I'm distracted, but I'll say some nice things. First of all, the chance of that, I'll tell Troy that. I think it's 1,500 to 1, not 15 to 1. Sorry about that.
And officially, by the way, TJ did say he'd take the 15 to 1. Now,
yes, he will now.
He acquiesced.
All right. Anyway, it's great to hear good news. There's so much bad news, and in the end, of course, it's always bad news for all of us. We all die.
I think that might be just fine, don't you think, Pete? Like just closing your eyes. I think dying sounds okay at times.
No, dying sucks, dude. What is wrong with you? All right.
Really?
Yes, it's great to hear. But in between, it's great to hear some good news, and we have great news for 2 of the members of our community here today, and it's great to hear. First of all, Guillermo Certucci, Eli's coming back in 30 days. That's great. And number 2, Top Set will not be tailing me tonight. That's great. Congratulations to both of you. See y'all in 2 weeks.